then going to the barbershop, sitting around.
That's why it's crazy we chose the name Klippah Talk.
Inside of him exists that man. You got to get out of that comfort zone.
I think that's it. All right. What's crazy, the name Klippah Talk, if you was to sit in here on a busy day, the conversation is so crazy. Every conversation is like uplifting. You got people that, we got people that after the cut, they'll sit around and they're like,
Just talk.
just absorb.
Just absorb.
Right. So,
Cause we
and
try
you know,
to-
that's what we missing now in barbershops.
I want that old feel. Like, man, I was just telling dude earlier. Every time barbershop, the first one, every time it's on, I watch it.
Yeah, every time.
Every time.
Yeah.
Cause that's my feel of the barbershop that I want that old school, no appointments. We just sit in here all day if you want to, and we just talk.
Yeah.
I want to build up the young men, have conversations with older men to build me up.
Yeah.
Like, just that staple in the community.
Yeah.
Style barbershop. That's what
crazy.
and even though we do appointments, like I said, like he said, people come around and they just sit after the haircut. They'll sit here an hour, 2 hours, just join in on the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a conversation that this single mother come in with her son, she can get in the conversation.
Right. Yeah.
Like we try to run a shop where when she come in, she ain't looked at as a piece of meat. Like everybody respectful.
Mm-hmm.
And that was our vision.
Nice.
I mean, ultimately it was mine, but I ran into somebody that had the same vision that I had in the shop.
That's right.
Cause like, I don't know if he told you, but man, we met one day and it was like I said it in the first podcast, like it was like instant brothers.
Instant brothers.
Yeah.
That's rare too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the crazy, man, I know they done heard this story before, but like, you know how as barbers, we big on that bar and the next man stuff. So, you know, I'm still traveling back and forth from South Carolina. I was doing like weekends. I was just gonna try Saturday, see if I liked it at the shop. So I come in, I didn't have my charger for my shaver, so my battery goes dead. I'm like, man. So I was like, bro, you mind if I borrow your charger? So I'm using this shaver. The fold breaks.
Oh,
First thing goes to my mind,
you broke my shaver, right?
That's the
How you
first
do
thing.
that? What day was it again?
It's on a Saturday.
Oh,
bro.
hell no. You broke my shaver on the side. That's my money day.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like,
There's a problem now.
yeah. So I'm like, hey, bro, as soon as I get done, I'm going to get another one. And so it was a little spot right down the street to go get one.
Wow.
So he looking at me like I said before, like Sunshine Anderson.
Yeah.
Heard it all before.
Yeah.
So I get done, I go get it. And like when I gave it to him, that's when it was like, okay, he reliable.
Yeah.
And from that point on, man, it's been like, if I pick something up with the right hand and I drop something, he got it.
Gotcha.
Vice versa. And the crazy thing is it's like telepathic. We do things like the way we run the shop. It's not my shop. It's not his shop. It's our shop. So like certain things I handle, certain things he handle, and we just keep each other updated.
Nice.
Like supplies. Man, sometimes I don't even have, the supplies already here. I'm thinking about going to get it. I get it, boom, he got it.
He already got it.
Yeah, and then when it comes to the bills, like we flip-flop off of that.
Yeah.
And if I hit him up, be like, hey, we need to take care of such and such. Boom, there's no question. We just send each other receipts, let them know, hey, this is where your money went.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, and I've always been a type person.
You can grow with a person like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And see, I'm the type of person, bro. I believe in, if we got an issue, let's talk about it in a closed set. You know what I'm saying? Me and you one-on-one, so the egos don't get involved. I can't say something crazy to a man in front of another man, because that lion gonna roar.
That's right.
So we haven't had any issue. I don't see a point where we get to that point, because before it gets to that point, we'll crack jokes about it, or we'll talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm learning. Egos, man. Like when it comes to business, the ego got to stay outside.
Please keep it outside.
Because if he come inside, he tear up everything.
He gonna tear everything.
Right.
That's it. That's real.
But it's crazy, man. And like, I just watch everything afar. Like I look at everything, and I'm trying to find the greatness in everything and what makes that person great, and then I add that to my life. That's what made me be a better father, because seemed like both of you guys grew up with your father in the home. And so like that stability, that iron fist that kept you straight,
Yeah.
I had a couple knocks on my head where I didn't have that iron fist. I had I had people that was involved, but it wasn't that when I come home that knock upside the head from a male figure. I had my mom, she did the best she could. But it was that it's seeing the greatness in other men. Like I would watch men in the community and I'd be like, when I become a father, I see how he did that, you know. And so I took that into barbering.
Yeah.
And you know, like in your shop, I looked at each barber and I picked up traits that I could use from them barbers. Every shop that I was in built me to who I am now. And I just believe that if we want to be better as people, we got to learn how to collect data like that. Like, look at somebody and learn. Like, he did that, he got in trouble. I ain't gonna do that. He did that, he lost a client. I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? And like, I tell everybody, like, this profession drew me closer to God because I learned that, like, say for example, the art of creation. Tell me, what did God put his hands on it and build? He thought everything into existence.
That's right.
Spoke it into existence and said it was good.
That's right.
The only thing he put his hands on is man. You know what I mean? So me knowing that my creator, my father, my Abba, he created everything by thinking. So when I talk to a client and, you know, like, you hearing what a client is saying, but you have to take what they're saying and take your thought and what you're saying, and you got to combine those two and create a cut.
Yeah.
So that's what taught me. It made me stronger in faith because now I know if I think it, if I see it, if I speak it, I can do it. And I had to become it.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what barbering had done for me, man. It's been a catalyst.
Yeah.
And I want to change lives, and what better way to change lives than a barber, to be honest.
Yes, right.
That chair is our platform. You think about how many people in our community actually go to church now. But how many people in our community get haircuts?
Yeah. All of them.
So
everybody,
we have a greater responsibility than pastors.
Yep.
You know what I
do.
mean? Yeah. And I think that's what I'm looking for in a barbershop. When we created this concept for a shop, this is my ministry. Yes, right. These young boys come in, they say, okay, I don't have to sell drugs to be successful. Or I don't have to disrespect a woman. You know what I'm saying? It's if we, and I correct young men, like, you know, young men, they fly off at the mouth. They might say the B word. I'm like, bro, you know, you don't want nobody calling your mom that. You got to think about that word.
That's
Every
right.
time you say that to your young lady, you're ripping a part of her out.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you just got a person with you because they used to being with you, and there's no love. Don't take the love out of the woman.
That's right.
You know, so it's little things, man, that I think we as barbers, that responsibility is so great. And I think that's why a lot of people, and I was that guy. I didn't want the responsibility. I just wanted the money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm learning the responsibility of being a true barber is great.
Yeah.
You're a counselor. It's conversations you may not want to hear, but this person got to get it out of them.
Yes, right.
You know what I mean? And you got to be strong enough to not let whatever they're getting out of them get in you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where that prayer comes in.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And then the crazy part about it is when you take on that responsibility as a barber, that's what, well, me personally, that's when I realized that's when the money came.
Right.
Like before I took on that responsibility and it was just, I'm chasing money every day. I get it, but it wasn't, it was just enough. But when I sat down and looked at myself in the mirror and really took barbering serious,
Yeah.
and I took on that responsibility, that's when it all started coming. You know what I'm saying? That's when I started building relationships with my clients, building relationships with people, even that's not my clients. Like I be in food line, and turn on, look at this dude and be like, man,
Right.
you need to shape up, man.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it'll start there with a joke, and
That's so
it'll
cool.
it'll come on, like they'll come in, and it's like I took that responsibility on, and then the money came.
That's right. Good.
You know, so
That's love. I love it.
Changing lives, man.
Yeah.
As barbers, we don't realize that little kid, you've been cutting his hair since he was 6. That little kid can tell you things about yourself that he saw growing up, and hearing them stories, like he'll tell you, I still got clients drive from South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? And like, I started cutting this young, I'm not gonna say his name, but you know what I'm talking about. I've been cutting his hair since he was like 9. He's 25 now. He'll drive up the road. He could be going through something, And I could tell when he going through something because he'll text me twice. And I know, just from being around me, and he was telling me one day, he was like, man, I could tell you more stuff than I tell my dad. He said, I've been talking to you since I was 10 years old. You used to get on me and tell me that.
How old is he now?
25.
Crazy.
And he was like, he told me, he said, man, like, when I was in school, you used to tell me when I was getting in trouble, and I tell you no. He said, but you always told me if I talk to you, I can tell you anything. He said, I didn't have that person to talk to. And so his mom passed. And when his mom passed, he got in a little trouble. And he came and he was talking to me about it. Like, he didn't have any family to talk to about it because the family wasn't close-knit like it should have been during that time. And so I helped him think his way through the trouble he was in. And I helped him with the situation because he was the one who had to make the decision on pulling the plug.
Gotcha.
Because his mom was in that condition where she was on that life support. And they had a conversation about if it ever got to that point, she didn't want to be a vegetable. She didn't want to be somebody just sitting in a chair and look around. So he came to me and he talked to me about that, to be that person.
Yeah.
And to know that a person can confide in me. That is what barbering is about.
Yeah.
That young man now is productive. He got his own family. He got his own business. But think of these youths who don't have someone to talk to.
Right.
And they get in a situation like that. They down spiral. So we as barbers, yes, we do this for a living. But if you love the people who love you, this business has been this career has been great.
Yeah.
Like when I come to work, I'm not coming to work.
No. It's never worked.
Right. It's like I'm not gonna say it's a hobby, but it's more of a stress reliever for me than it is for my client. Because I get to see everything that happens in society.
Yeah.
And I get to pick and choose what part of society I want to be in.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
So good.
this young man got in that trouble, and he's telling me how he got in that trouble. So now I can go home and tell my kids, like, this is a scenario. You know what I'm saying? When you get at the fork of that road, you upset. You have to still maintain your train of thought.
That's right.
When you lose your train of thought, men are the worst creatures when we operate in emotion.
Yes.
So you think about, like, so many of these young boys are raised by mothers, and women naturally they operate out of their emotions, and these boys pick up these habits. So like as a barber, we identify that all the time. When the kid walk in the room, I can say, okay, his dad's not in the house.
Yeah, you can see it.
Right, because their actions are different. That kid who mom and dad both were in the house,
Yeah.
he's more, they still children, but he's more,
Yeah.
he's more
You
cultivated.
can see the structure.
Right.
It's so crazy you say that. And my son just had a game. He playing AAU. He's 12 years old. So it was a young kid on his team that was missing his shots, and his mom was in the crowd screaming at him. And I'm right next to his mom looking at her screaming at her son.
Right.
And I started cringing on the inside because I see the boy going back and forth with his mom. He's sticking his lip out, throwing his hands down and just having a tantrum on the court, which is disrupting the whole game and throwing the team off.
Right.
And I wanted to pull this brother to the side and give him something. And I wanted to even talk to his mom afterwards. Go this piggybacking off of what you said, like this, unfortunately, if nobody steps in, he's going to carry that trait on in life of just being controlled by his emotions.
Right.
And I saw it starting, and he's only 12 years old now, but if he's not checked by the right person in love, right?
Right.
It's possibly can be something that can be harmful to him in the future.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's generational. Like,
Oh yeah.
when he has kids, instead of being that stable thing in his life, he'll get mad at his kid, and if he doesn't check his emotions, he'll push his kid to the side.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Like men get mad at the woman and they don't want nothing to do with the kid. Like,
Yeah,
come on
that. That's not right.
now. No, it's not. But that's where it starts. And I think we see the beginning of a lot of things. And I got some parents who they agree with it, and they're like, hey, we got some parents, man, they'll drop their kids off.
Yeah.
Just talk to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then we got some
love it.
parents who, you got some mothers who, like, they want you to talk to them. But, like, when I talk to them, I tell them, I said, there's enough. Age doesn't make us men. You know what I'm saying? Because I know some guys my age that have the mind of a 19-year-old. So age doesn't make you a man. What makes you a man is maturity. And as you mature, and it goes back to, like biblical. When Moses started to go amongst his people, he was good with the Egyptians. He's the heir to the throne. But it said that Moses became a man when he started to conduct himself and care for his people.
That's right.
So he went back to his people who were living in Goshen. And that let me know that Moses matured. Moses understood the difference in the struggle and being blessed. Being blessed doesn't mean that I can sit back and I can watch people who struggling and I'll be fine with it.
Yeah.
If I get my hands dirty, that's the maturity.
That's the maturity part of
right.
it.
Become and so like I feel like we as barbers, we got to be the bridge between family and community.
Yeah.
We see the family structure and we know what's needed. So you know what I'm saying? So like I want to start a program where these young men who don't have fathers, who don't have structure, I want to get a group of men around them who like, we just, kind of like the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah.
Like every month or whenever, we just take them out or take them somewhere and just show them what it's like to be loved by
That's
men.
right. That's right.
And it's crazy. You and I were talking one day, man, and that thing hit me hard. Like, how many boys have not heard a man tell them they love them? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I've always told my boys I love them.
Yeah.
But I had to go home that night after we had that conversation. I sat down with my sons, and I just let them know how much I love them. And the crazy thing is, my baby boy, like he had like everything bounce off him.
Right.
That testosterone got him feeling like a Mack trucker.
That's right. That's right.
So I'm talking to him, and he was like, "Dad, that means a lot." He said, "You always tell me you love me, but we never just sat down and you just told me how much you love me."
Yeah.
He said, "I just, people say I love you all the time."
That's right.
And I told him, I said, I never heard a man tell me that he loved me. And I know what that felt like, you know what I'm saying? And I had to pass that on to you guys. And when you have sons and daughters,
That's right.
make sure you let them know that you love them.
That's right. Yeah. That's so beautiful.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. But what's crazy, we halfway through this interview, man, and we ain't even start talking about the basics.
That's crazy. We just talking, and it's going in the direction it's supposed to go in.
Right, that's it. Flow. But I wanna get off into some things like your name and where you from and what made you want to be a barber.
Started in Philly. I was born in 1977, so I got the 70s. I got the best time to be born, man.
We do.
We got the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s.
We saw everything.
Man, listen, you the best. So just being birthed in the 70s in Philly, and Pop had clippers laying around the house, and he would cut my hair when he could cut my hair, but it was sometimes he didn't cut me how I wanted it to be cut.
Right.
And I couldn't get a cut as often as I would like to get a haircut.
Right.
So I started picking the clippers up and I started cutting myself. And one day I gave myself the kid and play. He was at work, he came home, he was like, "Yo, who gave you the money to go to the barbershop?" Like, "I used your clippers." So he was a little upset I used his clippers without asking.
Right.
But he looked at it and he's like, "Man, if you can do that to yourself, you probably will make a hell of a barber."
Right.
So I always kept that in my mind. And I started cutting my hair a little more often. Started convincing my family and my friends to allow me to cut their hair. I'm now 12 years old, and by the time I was 13, he built a barbershop in my basement in Philadelphia. And at 13, I started running out my own barbershop in the basement. Family, friends, anybody who wanted me to cut their hair. And by this time, I had already mastered my haircut. So I would cut my hair every day. Every day. It was like brushing my teeth.
Right.
I wake up, brush my teeth, I'm gonna outline, I'm gonna shape something up every single day. So went through middle school with a clean haircut, and clientele just started growing, reputation, brand started growing. Before I even know what a brand was, everybody's lined up, they want a haircut from Tone. So right after high school, we went to community college for a year and we flunked out. It didn't work. So my mom was like, "Listen, you can't stay in this house any longer. You either gotta go to the Army or you gotta go to barber school." She gave me options.
Right.
And I said, "Well, I'm pretty good with barbering. I'm definitely not built for the Army. Let's go ahead and try this barbering thing out." So we went to the barbers. I got into barber school, and I won competitions like the first week in barber school against all the seniors. And by that time, my name really started ringing in the city, and other shop owners started coming to the school trying to recruit me to work at their barbershop. And my pop was like, you're not working at none of these barbershops until you get your license. You know, like, you're gonna do it, you gotta do it the right way.
Right.
Because at this time in Philly, you can cut hair anywhere with no license.
Right.
Nobody, I ain't trying to put Philly down, but not many barbers in Philadelphia had license at that time. But they all was cutting hair in the barbershop.
So y'all didn't
Probably the owner didn't even have a license.
So y'all didn't have inspectors.
Man, it was ways around it.
Gotcha.
It was,
Gotcha.
and we found a way to get around all of that.
Right.
So Pop was like, nah, you gotta do it, you gotta do it the right way. This is how it's gonna be done. So I stayed in barber school, got my license, and once I got out of there, I went to a shop and just started spiraling from there.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of peaked out, man. I'm making $1,000 a day. I'm making, back then in 90, I came out of barber school in 2000. Man, I was bringing home, and I was still living at home, man, $3,000-$4,000 a week.
Right.
And this is off of $25, $30 haircuts. You know, I was doing dye jobs and also during that time. But the money was very good, and I wasn't happy. I wanted more. I thought I had more in me.
Right.
So I would always visit my family members in the South, and when I would come down here with my haircut and my style, some of the Southern brothers would be like, yo, that's different. Right. And they would be like, oh, you got the arches. You don't just have the slanted shape up. And with the hooks, you know how we used to do the hooks or the 3 shape up in the haircut. And I always took that back to Philly. I was like, yo, we can probably come down south and make a little stamp, you know, make an impression on the city. So I kept that in my mind. And in 2000, and after I got married and everything, 2003, I said, I'm gonna go to Charlotte and see what happens.
Right.
So I convinced my wife to let's go to Charlotte. And at that time, and I just showed up with a box of dye, some Beijing, so my trimmers, and I started working for a barbershop. But I also had in my mind that I wasn't just gonna come down here and be a barber. I was gonna make sure I was the flyest, the coolest, the sharpest, everything. I just knew it was time to make it happen. So after getting here in 2003, plugged up at the shop, and then I went to the Bronner Brothers that summer and competed in the competition at the Bronner show, which I came in 3rd place. And then coming in 3rd place, I got sponsored by the Klippah company. So things really started moving faster when I got involved with Andy's.
Right.
And after getting 3rd place, got involved with them, became one of their educators. Didn't know what an educator was. All I could do is cut hair. I didn't know how to talk and cut hair. I didn't know if I can inspire or even teach anybody else what to do with these clippers. But I learned on the job.
Right.
And I had a hell of a mentor, which was Ivan Zoot. And he pretty much showed me all the ropes on what it took to be an educator. And just kept competing. Got 2nd place until probably about 2 years later, I got 1st place, which then I was finished with competing. I didn't want to compete anymore. But I just kept traveling for the Andy's company for about 2 decades as their lead senior educator. And opened up the barbershop in Charlotte, Ultimate Barber Lounge, which you was you know, I was blessed to have you as a worker there with me.
Appreciate
and you know, we made a hell of a team, man. You know, Ultimate Barber Lounge, UBL Lounge.
Yep.
You know, us working together on that boardwalk, man. We made so many great memories.
Yeah.
And I was just so excited to be a part of so many brothers' growth into becoming men, becoming professional barbers.
Right.
Because a lot of us was just cutting hair, bootlegging. We weren't professional.
Right.
So to be a part of everybody's growth and see brothers feed their families, send their children to school, and you know, branch out and open their own business. You know, man, listen, I'm so fortunate to be a part of that whole journey.
Right.
You know, so I'm excited to even be here with you guys, and I'm still constantly evolving and growing into who he wants me to become.
Right.
You know, I'm not there yet, but I'm striving to get better and do better. So we where we are right now, currently, I've been a set barber. You know, I kind of moved away from the barbershop environment. So for me, even to be welcomed into the barbershop, I'm not that much in a barbershop.
Right.
You know, I'm mainly on set now. I'm working with these producers, these actors. I'm helping create characters. You know, I'm working on period pieces. This is all set lingo that I'm learning, and this is a new world for me.
Right.
To get acclimated with and understand more of, and see where I fit at in that world. So it's been an amazing journey, and I'm loving it. I'm loving being on set. You know, I'm loving being on set.
But that's a blessing, though.
It's very Tyler Perry. We working with Netflix, Marvel,
right.
BET.
You did Twisted Metal, right?
Twisted Metal. No, I did Wakanda Forever. The second Black Panther.
Okay.
I didn't do Twisted Metal. Now, what else did I do? A six-tuplet by Marlon Wayans, and Naked, BMF. We did Captain America 4.
That's where I saw the guy at there, and I thought it was Twisted Metal because the character for Twisted Metal was in Captain America, right?
Yes.
The guy that played Tupac.
Yeah. You talking about what's Mr. Captain America name? Man, I can't, it's slipping my name. Anthony Mackie, man. I hope you don't see this and be like, what the hell, you don't know my name? So I was his.
We bad with names.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like, my man. That's right. Everybody come in the shop, I don't know their name. I'm like, what's up, bro? You good? Never knew his name, man.
What's up, boss?
What up, dog? You good? My man. I got you next. I don't even know your name, bro.
I know your face.
I know your face.
That's it.
So yeah, Anthony Mackie. I did 2 movies with him. One is a sci-fi movie, and then the other one was Captain America 4.
Okay. Because I remember seeing, I was scrolling through one day, and I saw your link on Instagram. And so I was scrolling through, and I saw you had taken a picture with the set.
Yeah.
But I took it to be Twisted Metal, but it was Captain America.
So I think that one was the sci-fi movie we did in Colorado.
Okay.
We did a sci-fi movie in Colorado for 3 months. All right. Yeah, we were top of the mountains and cliffs and caves and everything. It was crazy.
How did you enjoy it, though? Different side of life that we used to.
Yeah, no, this right here don't prepare you for what's out there on set. It's a different world.
Right.
And you really gotta be open to learning something new. So for one, just the time restrictions that you have to create a character.
Right.
And here you can spend 30 hours, you can spend 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, whatever, on creating that look.
Right.
But on set, you got 5 minutes. You might have 10 minutes. They might put them in a chair and say you got 30, and then they change it. And now you got 12, you gotta finish now. They need them, the camera's about to roll. They gotta get this scene before they lose the daylight. So yeah, sweat, pressure, anxiety, all of those things, emotional roller coaster, you gotta be able to control it.
Right.
And you gotta produce under pressure.
Right.
Now what did help me and prepare me for that was competing.
Right.
So with the time restriction and competing, it was able to mentally help me get there with the restrictions that I had on set.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
But it's still pressure, and you still got to produce.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's your craft.
And then it's an assembly line. They go from the barber, they go to makeup, they go to costume, then they go to set to be filmed by the camera. So if I'm slowing that process up, I'm now becoming a liability and not an asset.
Right.
So this is when you find yourself, you had a job yesterday, but today you don't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you get moved out real quick.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. You went into that, but that was a question I was gonna ask you. Like the competition in Philly. Just I'm listening to you and I'm seeing your whole evolution into the man that you are now, and I'm seeing that your brand was created in the basement when it started with you wanting a particular look for yourself and the frequency of getting haircuts. So like the competition in Philly, you became elite in that competition.
Yeah.
Then you came here, you became elite in that competition. So what I'm saying is like you're much like me. You'll get bored once you feel like you've accomplished something. And so like I see the evolution. Like I conquered this.
Yep.
So now I'm
me.
seeing you now.
That's me all day.
Where you at right now is like you're competing with yourself now though.
Yeah.
It's not competition with another barber. I never take that. I never think that way. It's just I'm competing with me, making sure that I hear my name good out here in these streets.
Yeah.
And I hear and so like I see you now. You've caught on to how things work so well where you're at now to where now you're competing with yourself and making sure that what you're doing is you're an asset and not a liability.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And
So
I always prepare for the next opportunity.
right,
Like even when I was in the shop, I always had my eyes on set,
right,
and I was preparing for my exit.
yeah,
I always had an exit plan. So like even now I'm on set, like I'm conditioning myself to be an actor and a stuntman. So like you see me training, you might see me in the running, doing push-ups, pull-ups. I changed my diet. Like in my mind, I'm a stuntman.
right,
Like you don't even like Will Smith. We don't even remember. You probably don't even. The camera guy probably don't remember when Will Smith was a rapper.
right.
Like he evolved into an actor now. You done forgot this guy used to
Right.
do Summertime. You know. Yeah. It's, so it's that evolution into
Right.
becoming something else.
Right.
And you do that now. You work on that relentlessly now. So like my mind is already switched.
And then you saying that, I have an exit plan. Like I was telling, my exit plan is, I always want to do barbering, but there's other things I want to do. Like number one, what I'm doing now, I want to get into podcasting, just to have a platform to go. So this will go out into communities. So young men and young women, they can see that, hey, the avenues that we've been taking, we don't have to take.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pave a road that was once paved and bring back who we are,
Right.
what we are. We've
Right.
never been a people that's doing a lot of things that we're doing now. I want to get back to the old us.
That's right.
The old us who had character.
Right.
The old us who, when I went out the house, I knew I was representing this last name. This last name,
Right.
somebody had maintained it and kept it clean, and it's my job,
That's right.
like leave a legacy.
Yeah.
And so like that's my goal now, is to leave a legacy through podcasting. And my vision is to see the world. And as I see the world, I take this barber license with me, and my wife, she's got a teaching degree. So like we're looking at, if I want to go to Italy and I stay in Italy a while, I go to the U.S. Embassy. There's always some military, so I can cut on base.
That's right.
But at the same time, so that's kind of like where I see myself now. That's my next goal but in doing so, I just want to always keep my platform about changing lives, because I feel like my life was changed by other people pouring into me.
Yeah.
And a gift is not a gift if you don't give it back.
A gift is not a gift if you don't give it back.
Right.
I believe that.
Yeah. So that's what I feel like my gift and my purpose is.
Yeah.
And like, I feel every man, once he find his purpose, it's very important that he have people around him, support groups. Like when the pressure, like what you had, the pressure that you was under, and nobody saw your pressure, and you went through it, and you came out on the other side.
Yeah.
That's what people need to hear.
That's what they do need to hear it.
Because we as men, we get locked up.
Yeah.
We lock all our feelings in. We lock all our emotions in. And one incident, if you don't have somebody to talk to, it'd be something simple
Listen.
as somebody pulling out in front of you in the road.
Yep.
And we see people go off.
Yep. There's a scripture said, a man left to himself will destroy himself.
Right.
So if we left to our own thoughts, our own feelings, our own way of handling our issues,
Right.
it's literally gonna destroy you.
Right. Because we don't, when we're to ourselves, that second voice has more power than the voice of God.
That's right.
Because that second voice, it channels in your emotions, and it channels in those things, and it make you feel like it's the only thing that love you, and you need to listen to it.
Yep.
And that one day you get left on that ledge, and you don't have anywhere to turn to it, and we didn't get to know God.
Yeah.
And that's why, and it's funny that, cause like when we first met, like God was in our lives, and we taught each other different spectrums of where we were, inadvertently. Cause I remember, y'all used to tease me about, man, you pro-black, right?
Yeah. This brother was militant, man. Pro-black brother. He's like, nah, man, see, y'all should be. I'm like, ain't nobody trying to hear that, right? You're not trying to hear that today, man. Get out of here.
And he like that to this day.
Now listen, I read in the book.
Okay.
Y'all need to look. I'm gonna bring it in tomorrow. Y'all read. Y'all gonna know. I'm like, what?
Yeah, and it was funny. Like, you remember you guys called me one day. You remember that? Y'all called me one day. I think I was talking to Rail, and then you said something in the background. Y'all was watching the video.
Okay.
The video of I can't remember the name.
I remember this vaguely.
Yeah, and you guys said, man, you right, man.
You right.
Right, Rice.
You was right, Rice.
Yeah, you was
We
right.
called you.
Yeah, y'all called me.
Yeah.
Y'all told me, Rice, you was right.
He was right the whole time.
But it's
we didn't
things
want to
like that.
accept it.
Right, because y'all thought I was, man, that dude coming from
Right.
South Carolina.
Yeah,
is
nobody
crazy.
trying to hear that. Till we realized you was really right?
But but my whole thing was like, the knowledge that I've gained from I read a lot of the books that are not in the Bible. Like when you read Joshua 10 and 13, he speaks of the book of Jasher. So I've read these books, and reading these books, man, if our people knew, and not in an arrogant way, because Peter had to be checked by Paul because his arrogance was making him feel like he was better than other nations. But knowing that, having that knowledge, man, that's a responsibility.
Yeah.
And I feel like if a lot of men knew, man, these people you're reading about come from your bloodline.
That's right.
So once you know that, man, I can't go out in these streets and misrepresent God.
Yeah. I think we live in a world where they got these systems in place to prevent us from becoming conscious
Right.
and self-aware and woke into the full understanding of your true identity.
Right.
Which is a God.
Right. Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Because he created
So
us
like,
in his
come on,
image.
we were created in his image.
Right.
Like you have the God in you.
Right.
You had the God presence. You can speak life. You can take life.
Right.
You can give life.
Right.
A man thinketh, so is he.
Right.
So if I'm thinking life, bro, I can give life.
Right. Right. And we got so many people.
So if I can keep you not thinking how you should be thinking, you're speaking death. You're speaking less than.
Right.
You're speaking fair. You're thinking fair.
Right.
So now you're inferior.
Right.
You really are supposed to be superior.
Right.
We're supposed to be walking in our dominion power.
Right. Right. Everything's supposed to be under subjection.
To us. So now everything that I need is now coming into my space.
Right.
I'm attracting it. It's chasing me down, looking for me.
You have to run from
And I'm not looking for it.
Right.
I'm not in pursuit of it. It's
Right.
in pursuit of me.
Right.
Because I'm fully aware of who I am and what I am.
Right.
So many people get caught up in the entertainment. They want to be entertained.
Hello?
And I think that's where the divide is. You want to be entertained so bad that you don't look at the inner you. You don't even get to know yourself because you're too busy trying to be entertained.
Yeah. It keeps you docile too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we can go into the food. The food has been paralyzing our mind to where you can't even function on the frequency that you're supposed to be functioning on because you poisoning your temple.
Right.
Like our bodies are a temple.
Right.
And why would you defy the temple of God?
Right.
Why would I put pornography in my body?
Correct.
Why would I allow that to enter my mind? Why would I eat foods that's causing me to be sickly and cause death?
Right.
So like once we become self-aware, then we are aware of the poisons that we intake on the daily.
Right.
And I got to remove those poisons so I can function on a higher frequency.
Right.
So I can have a clearer connection to him.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I hate to say this, and this might be a little conspiracy theorist, and you might like this anyway, but they know that, bro.
Right.
So this is what I'm just feeding y'all. Through entertainment, through music,
Move.
through movies, through games, through sports.
Right.
We know everybody's stats.
Right.
What's your stats?
Right. Correct.
But it's
Right.
not.
What's your stats? I can shut down and say it's football season and I'm following everybody else. But you ain't locked in on, it's supposed to be your season. It ain't even football season. This is your season, but they done tricked you to think it's football season. So now I got to give all my time and energy to that.
Right. And I'm not taking care of me.
I'm missing it.
Right.
Where a lot of people like discipline, so that's why they don't take care of this.
Discipline.
Yeah.
Discipline.
Like that, and that's something I'm dealing with personally. Now, discipline.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
as you grow and you learn that discipline, and you take that on.
Yep.
That's when you get to that point.
You know what? I wanted more discipline, and I started studying those people that I admire with discipline. And success leaves clues. And I had Muhammad Ali. I watched him. I studied him. I studied Bruce Lee. I studied David Goggins, military SEALs dude. LeBron. I was studying Kobe. And they all left clues for me, bro. And if you study these people, bro, if you don't have it, you'll find the clues that you need and you just adopt it and then you apply it to your life. But this Mamba mentality that Kobe had, like outworking the next person and how he realized his limitations physically, but he complimented, it wasn't complimented, what's the other word? Even though he had limitations physically, he understood that he can now compensate that with this discipline that he can develop.
Right.
You know, you see what I'm saying? So, and that created the Mamba mentality that we admire today.
And that Mamba mentality is crazy.
Yep. And then he was able to put it in his daughter.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he was a monster, bro. The same. And we might need to talk about this off of the camera because that's the reason why they took him out of it.
Right.
Same with Bruce Lee, because not only did he adopt it, he was able to transfer it to others and teach them and train them.
I mean, just looking at his story, to play this game, and then after the game, everybody shower and they going out, they going their separate ways. But for him to stay in the gym and still shoot after the game for hours, I'm gonna put up 1,000 shots after playing the game.
Yeah.
Like that's the difference.
Yep.
The LeBron, I'm gonna put $1 million into my body a year.
Right.
Yep.
Physically, mentally, I'm gonna put it in my body.
Yep.
Like that's the difference between good and great.
Yep.
Right.
And I admire him, all of them.
Right.
But we are them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Everything that them Jews did, we are them now.
Right.
That's it.
We have that.
We just got
We have that same potential.
as long as I discipline.
Period.
Just got to tap into yourself. And like you said,
Yep.
got to be the best version of yourself.
Yep.
Now, my wife, she used to always tell me, she tell me all the time, you won't take no for an answer. Because I know the minute I take no for an answer, I just set a boundary.
Yeah.
He didn't make me to be locked in a cage. He made me to rule from here to heaven.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like, in that mentality, like, listening to Duran last week, he was talking about the Mamba mentality, him playing with Kobe. He was like, the coaches say, this is what we got to do. Kobe like, nah, y'all can do that. I'm going to do a little more. And so that's what I'm learning as a barber. Like, my day is, like, they joke with me about, I tell them all the time, I don't set an alarm clock. Because I know this what time I got to be there. I trust he going to wake me up. I just trusted him in so many different facets of my life, and he wake me up on time. And so, in saying that, my day starts when he tells me my day starts. My day ends when he tells me my day ends. And like some days I might have, say, eight appointments. But as my day goes on, he naturally fills in those dots.
Hey, that's
And
true.
I'm busy from start to finish.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got alarms. I got 3 of them set.
Yeah, I got alarms too, right? So I
Cause
Yeah, I
the
got
first 2 gonna get snoozed.
I do. My wife will tell you, bro. I set no alarms. I can late like sometimes
That's crazy.
Because like we read the Bible before we go to bed.
Yeah.
And, you know, like if I don't fall asleep first, I got to be honest about that. But like we read the Bible before we go to bed, and sometimes it might be like 1, 2 o'clock before we get done.
Yeah.
And so like I got to be here at 5 or 6. I got to be at 6 or 6:30. But I still don't set an alarm clock. It's crazy.
You said 1, 2 in the morning?
Yeah. And I still pop up. On
Oh, that's
time.
crazy, dog.
Yeah.
I'm in the bed at 10 o'clock every night.
I can't.
Yeah, it's
I can't.
crazy.
If I get too much sleep, I'm no good. I have
I
to
might be in the
operate.
shop till 10 o'clock.
You be in the shop till 10.
Yeah,
Okay.
like on a Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
It's a 8 o'clock start and it's 9, 10 before we leave.
Y'all grinding.
It's
Good money.
But I thank God because, you know, like,
Get it.
people tell me all the time, man, I don't see how you do it. I tell you how I do it. I've been in barbershops where barbers are sitting down and they're not getting business. And so, like, I'm thankful that he's mindful of me to and see, like I always tell him, I'll be busy as long as you keep me busy. You know what I'm saying? If I go to him and I be like, well, y'all, I need X amount of dollars. And, you know, I always talk to him like, I need X amount of dollars, and if you give me the work, I'll work to get it. I'm not asking for it to just fall out the sky.
No.
Give me the work and I get it.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Right. And so that's the drive, and it's crazy because my kids are picking up on that.
Yeah.
I got some little grinders, and I just thank God for using me as an example to like break generational.
Yeah, they watching.
Right. Don't sit back I don't want anybody in my that come from my loins, relying on no government,
Yeah.
or no help.
That's
as
right.
long as you got health and strength and a brain in your head, think your way through.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and as I get older, now I'm learning to listen to my body, and like that's why I'm able to operate the way I'm operate, cause like my body will tell me, hey, don't eat no more of that cake, don't drink no more of that you drunk enough water today.
Yeah.
You know, my body's giving me signals like, and it's crazy. I didn't hear these things before.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, that's what I want to be so in tune to, where spiritually I make the right decision. I listen to him. And even if nobody else believes, I'm going to believe.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to let somebody deter me from what I know he said and look at what he's going to do. And so
That's so good.
Yeah.
It's important that we fast,
Right.
and we should do whatever fast. You should do a fast at least 3 times a year.
Right.
And in that fast, you want to consecrate yourself. You want to turn down your plate. You want to consecrate yourself, meaning that you want to get control of those mediums that program you.
Right.
You know, you want to turn them off. Turn your radio off, turn your TV off, and turn down your plate. I say we should do that between 7 to 21 days, 3 times a year.
Right.
That's going to give you total, complete peace and stillness in your body and in your mind, and you're going to get crystal clarity from the Creator.
Right.
So he can download everything that you need for the plan that he has for your future.
Right.
Like, that's so important for us as men.
Right.
Because we taking them and they following us, but are we really equipped to lead them
Right.
into the future?
Right.
And if we don't have a clear connection to the Creator, brothers, I'm gonna say it's left up to possibility. And I don't want no possibility. I want to know for sure that I'm heading in the right direction.
Right.
And that they can trust me. And how do I know that? Because of the effort and the discipline that I have in my faith walk and my walk in life. And I know we're gonna get to where we need to get to. Now, how it's gonna look, I don't know how it's gonna look.
Right.
You know, like when that ship crashed in the Bible, he said, y'all gonna make it to the other side, but they didn't know that the ship was gonna be broken up into pieces.
Right.
But they did make it to the other side. So I feel without a shadow of doubt, guys, we all should be working on ourselves.
Can't even remember his name from Philly. I used to talk to him on, and he asked me, he was like, what do you do different that make people pass 10 shots to come to you? And I took pride in customer service.
Okay. There it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Customer service.
So that's what pushed me every day to make sure like the experience is.
And that's rare because everybody not locking in on customer service. They want to get they want to get a nicest haircut and they want to post it. That's all they want to do. Take the picture and post it. And you forgetting about the customer in the chair.
It was crazy.
What about caring for him and taking care of him?
That's what I learned from you, man. Like, I used to be a headphone man. You remember when I first came in?
Yeah.
You was like rice.
Nah, you got to tap out, bro. You got to stay locked in with your client. Them headphones, even now to the day, I hate it.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it still shows that you're not being personable with your client.
Right. Not building that relationship.
You can't hear their needs. You can't tune into their body language. You know, you listening to your music.
Right.
You don't even hear the environment that you in.
Yeah.
Something be going on and you're not even aware.
Yeah, man. You gotta hear that door open. You gotta hear that phone ring.
Like, both of them like, we did our first episode, and in that first episode, I brought up that it was you who taught me how to plan. Because you remember that conversation, you know, like I sent you in the question.
And you gotta remind me of some of these conversations. I got selective memory.
Like,
you
pulled
might
me
say
to the
something,
side.
I don't remember all that.
Yeah, you pulled me to the side and you was like, and you had it jotted down on paper. You was like, bro, you should be $3,000 to $5,000 a week. And I was like, and I'm looking because at that point I had only hit the 1,500 mark. I had just been a barber, and you started explaining to me, and so it made me change. That's when, like you brought up when we had meetings, you brought up like the conversations. Man, y'all need to start doing what Rice is doing with them conversations that he having with his clients.
Yeah.
And so that was when I've always been able to connect with my client.
Now I remember.
That's when I put all my energy into it. Like, And I'm gonna tell you, that's what turned me into what I am now.
That's so
Cause
far.
before that, I was just a barber,
This was cutting here.
just cutting hair, getting money.
Mhm.
It was more like a hustle then.
Yeah.
And so, like, when you take this profession and go from a hustle to a career, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember all the entertainers used to come across
Yeah.
and used to invite us up, and I'm like, I couldn't make all of them because we just moved here.
Yeah.
I didn't really know people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I didn't want to just leave the family abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I saw you take off from that.
Yeah, man.
So
It just kept going.
Yeah, you was a monster.
One door open another door.
It was like a corridor at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But the blessings.
Blessings on blessings.
See up.
You know, it's a scripture in the Bible. Are we recording?
Nah, Natty. Are we on?
No, it's a scripture.
Okay.
It's a scripture in the Bible that says, if you faithful over little, he'll make you rule over much, many.
Yes, sir.
So to me, I always considered this as being my little, this one chair. So
Right.
when I was in the basement of my parents' home, I didn't even fully understand what that scripture meant, but I read that scripture. And
Right.
as time went on, I was like, oh, what he was saying was, if I can manage this one chair properly, he'll give me more chairs. If I can manage my one client effectively, he'll give me more clients.
Right.
If I can manage $1 good, he'll give me hundreds and thousands of dollars.
Right.
If I can manage one opportunity and one door properly, he'll start opening more doors.
Right.
More doors, more vehicles, more avenues. So it's just that, man, being a good steward.
Right.
Stewardship is key for us, guys.
It is. Because
Yeah, stewardship is key. And if we manage our clients properly, if we tend to their needs, if we help them, not just help them look good, but help them feel good too.
Right.
You know, that internal part, you really got to be in tune to that,
Amen.
holistic approach to barbering, not just external,
Right.
internal too.
right. They change a person from the inside out.
And from the inside out.
Right.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. I had a bad day Wednesday.
Yeah.
I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I took the rest of the day out just to get my mood right.
Yeah.
I had to cancel some appointments.
Yeah.
But my last 2 appointments, I didn't engage like I was supposed. I ain't even charged.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Because if I didn't give you the service that I want to give you, how can I charge you?
Yeah.
Got because your heart went in it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Did you explain that to him?
I did.
Okay.
I was just like, yo, this one on me.
Yeah. It might be good to double back and explain that to them too, so they understand. Because they just said, "Cool, no problem,"
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, they want that free haircut.
Yeah.
Double back and tell them where you was at too at that at
Yeah.
that moment. Like, yo, I didn't feel like I gave you my best,
Yeah.
so this one on me, fam.
Yeah.
Right.
That's dope though.
Yeah.
I never heard that before in my life.
That's. I
Never heard that before. I'm probably gonna charge you even if I'm cranking hair to
Yeah, yeah. Like,
But you was like, nah, I can't charge you for this one
like,
because
I want you to feel better when you leave. It's more than a haircut.
yeah, it's an experience.
That's it.
And guess what? It's gonna come back to you too because you did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you took a selfless approach.
Right.
Great
Great.
selfish.
When you do stuff like that, I've seen it. Like, I knew the person was having issues. You know what I'm saying? Like monetary issues, because, he had talked to me prior about, asking me, could I get him, you know what I'm saying, this week, he pay me back next week. Usually I don't engage in stuff like that. I'll just tell them, come in early or come in late. You be my first one. I get it out of the way and go ahead about your business. You don't owe me anything. But so he came in and, I could tell by the way he was talking, like, I might not be able to tip you this week, man, but blah, blah, blah. So I just told him, man, go ahead. It's on you. It's on me, man.
Yeah.
And because I feel like once you build a personal relationship with these people, then you know their situation. Like you were saying, cleaning them up from the inside out. A lot of men get haircuts, and after their haircut, he feel like $1 million.
Yeah, man.
So I feel like as a barber, we do this for money, but it's not always about money. Sometimes it's about. I learned that when you bless somebody, that thing's like a circle. It's coming back. And especially if you do it from sincerity. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing it from a grudging heart standpoint. I'm just doing it because, hey man, I care about you.
That's it.
And I learned a long time ago, when you show people you care, if you show one man that you love him, if he got a problem, he can get over that problem now. Because a lot of people, they get caught on drugs or they have bad habits because that thing makes them feel good. That's that one thing they feel like love them back. So when a person realize somebody love them back,
Yeah. That's it.
yeah, man.
Yo, listen, just imagine if we could just all function in that space of love and be intentional about everything that we put our hands to.
Right.
How we can change the world. One haircut at a time.
Right.
I've had people that came home from doing a bid in jail, homies that I cut, and they were my clients, but when they went away, they had to sit down and they came back out and they're like, I'm not on my feet. I'm like, listen, how could I charge you?
Right.
These haircuts are all free until you get back on your feet.
Right.
And once that happens, then you take care of me.
Right.
And it's amazing to see these guys bring it back to me. Be like, Tony, I remember when I came home and he was like, yo, these haircuts are free. I was like, they was like, man, I'm on my feet now. Here you go.
Right.
And it's like they'll give me back pay. And I'm like, yo, I kind of needed this one right here. So I appreciate you.
Right.
I was just doing that because I knew if I was ever in that predicament, I would want somebody to do it for me.
Right.
Like my mom always told me, treat somebody how you want to be treated.
Right.
Like it's that that teaching and training that my parents gave me that is developing my character and who my identity is to the day.
Right.
Like I don't have a brand. Like my character is my brand.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like good character is your brand.
Right.
When I see this dude, this is what he is about. This is what he's not about. This is what he don't do.
Right.
More of who I am is my nose. It's not my yeses.
Right.
It's like my nose. Like this dude don't eat meat. Like this dude he not out here just cheating around.
Right.
Like those are my nose.
Right.
Like nah, he don't curse.
Right.
That's who he is. That's
Right.
his nose. And your nose are what separates you from the rest.
Correct.
And it creates you to be the best version of yourself. Yeah. So I don't even know how we got on that topic of nose, but I feel like barbers need to know that, bro.
Right. You got to set some boundaries.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you, like, and I remember sitting at the shop and I used to sit back and I'm like, I used to ask Rail. Rail was right beside me. I'd be like, Rail, who that? He's like, oh, he a barber down the street. And all these barbers are coming and they talking to you throughout the day and you going to lunch with them sometime. Rest in peace. My man who used to wear the bow ties.
Who?
The guy that used to wear the bow ties that used to come in.
David Lindsay.
You remember he used to come to like 2-3 times a week.
Oh yeah, David was one of my closest mentors.
Right.
That hurt when he left.
Yeah, and so like I used to, and I remember like
The mentees.
my man from Charleston, I can't remember his name, dark skinned guy. He used to come up and like he was doing. Most of these guys were on the platform, but they were coming to you for ideas.
Yeah.
And you took his
I could have been charging.
right. That's what I'm saying. You were so humble back then, and you've always been humble. But it was like, and to this day, I talk to my wife sometimes. I'm like, I wonder how did you handle the magnitude of all that, and I never saw you fold.
Yeah.
That's why I call you.
But I did fold.
But
So much is given, much is required.
right, but you held it well. Nobody knew what was going on with you internally.
No one knew.
Nobody could tell because you handled it with so much resilience.
It's crazy you said that, and thanks for. I didn't even know that was noticeable, but and I always, when you hear me talk, you might hear me use the Bible as references because that's my number one book that I read.
Right.
And David, when he went to battle with his men, after the battle, he won the battle, he came back, everything was taken. The men, wives, the livestock, the enemy took everything, right? And David was discouraged, and even the men that were following him started turning on him. And what David did was he left them and he found a way to encourage himself in the Lord. Many times as leaders and as the head of our household, we don't always show those weak moments,
Right.
but we have to develop the ability to get away from the flock and go encourage yourself. So that's what you may not, when you see me out here, I might be strong, but like my armor has been pierced many a times.
Right.
But because of that book, it showed me a way to handle those moments when you're low. Handle those moments when you do feel like you're just not enough, or you might feel depleted because you done emptied out to everybody.
Right.
I'm able to say, okay, let me go to this word. Let me see what some people in the Bible may have done in this weak moment.
Right.
And how did they overcome that obstacle and stay the person that God has truly created them to be.
Right.
Like we all got a mantle to carry.
Right.
And that's why I say too much is given, much is required. Heavy is the crown that the king wears.
Right.
So like when you see bosses and you see people that you see that you might admire, my mom always tell me, don't you want what that man got? Because you don't know what he got to deal with behind closed doors.
Right.
Or what it takes for him to be who he is.
Right. That's it.
Right. That is, to me, I was like, damn, mom, that's right. And then when your time comes, you be like, man, this is a lot.
And you have to grow to that.
And you have to grow.
Right.
And you have to mature. And that's why we all are here, because we become someone that can help the next person
Right.
reach their true potential.
Right.
You know, Dr. Miles Monroe, another dude that I admire. And these are books that I feel like anybody who's listening, they should all go get. Dr. Miles Monroe is an amazing man of God who helped men become leaders and men of integrity and character and discipline.
Right.
Like he helps you, he's a great man to help you develop into your leadership person that you need to be.
Right.
Dr. Miles Monroe, check him out. But he was a solid brother, and I've been reading his books over 15, 20 years.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Man, he passed, but his information is still valuable.
Right. And I feel as men, like this conversation that we're having now, this is a conversation that we as men need to have. Because a lot of times you got men out here who, you turn on the news, you see a man who didn't have somebody to talk to. You can see his face.
Yeah.
Like if he had somebody to talk to, he wouldn't have made that the choice or that decision or got involved in what he got involved in.
A lot of dudes locked up.
Right.
And that just by not having somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
Right.
And I could have been one of them guys that could have been in this prison, in the penitentiary system, bro, because I did everything that they all did.
Right.
But just by the grace of God, and I had a praying mom, and I had a father he wasn't afraid to hit me with that backhand.
Right.
You know what I mean? And discipline me. That put a little fear in me. I was like, I'm gonna do. I can't do everything everybody doing. Like I got limits.
Right.
Like I'm gonna do this, but I can't do everything.
Right. Because you know that there's a strong hand waiting.
Yes, sir. And
so-
that fear stopped me from going over the edge.
Now, that's another question that I have. Like, seeing you do all the things that you did, how did you balance family? Because right now, you was telling me about your son in college briefly. And so, like, to raise these boys in the society that we're in today, I know my story. I had to reprogram my boys. Because, not that they were ever troublesome, but they didn't have direction. And so, like, as a barber, what I had to do was take that one-on-one, knowing my kids one-on-one individually, knowing what they needed, and balance a business and balance family, balance clientele, balancing everything on. And what did you do? Like, what was the core of how you kept it all together?
I really sought out people that I valued,
Right.
that were more seasoned than me in those areas that I wanted to grow in. So a lot of my elderly clients, and a lot of times what you need is right in this chair. You just don't tap in to what's in your chair.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then people walking through the doors, they do everything you need.
Right.
And I started tapping into the people that was in my chair and just valuing their insight. I valued their insight, and I started applying everything that they were sharing with me. And then I got involved in men's ministry. A group of other men that can hold me accountable too. Right. Because I got a strong personality, and I'll be like, nah, I'm not doing certain things. But some brothers you need to be around a certain type of individual that can check you.
Right.
So his energy can check your energy.
Right.
And finding those brothers that could check me was essential, bro, to helping me just keep going forward.
Right.
Even if I drop the ball. And I look at life as you're going to have highs and lows, peaks and valleys. Right. It's in those low moments that person can help you get back up.
Right.
It's in the highs when we feel like we got it all together. We don't need nobody.
Right.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Right. Working on everybody else in this shop, we got to be mastering ourselves.
Right.
Even more. Jim Rohn said, work hard on yourself than you would do on your job. So even though we're working hard in here, work hard on yourself.
Right.
Like that's the key.
And trust the process.
And then we're more likely to leave before they are, the women.
Right.
Because of the weight that we carry, because of the grind. I'm here to 11, 12. Right. I'm getting a bag. Right. You're right, you are.
Right.
But just know you're grinding yourself too, and you're shortering your lifespan, your life expectancy because of the weight that we carry.
Right.
So with that in mind, we need to take more care of ourselves. We need to love ourselves even more. Mental health is important for us, guys.
Yeah.
Like barbers are losing it. They're drinking excessively. They're eating anything they want to eat, but they got the bread, but they're not fully taking care of their bodies and their minds.
Right. Right.
Eating donuts, the cupcake guy come by, I like sweets too. But if we gonna be here, and I don't want to leave here early, so let's be more aware and conscious of what we put into our mouth.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And lock in on a fast. We just did a 21-day fast in the shop. All the barbers got on it.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the clients heard about it and they jumped on it too. So it was talking about an awakening. Afterwards, people was like, man, I'm not sleeping, I'm not having sex anymore, I'm not married, I'm not doing that anymore. I don't want to drink alcohol anymore. These are dudes, like dudes from the street. They're like, yo, man, I hear something now. I'm like, yeah, that's your creator, bro.
Right.
It's been a little static on the line for a while.
Right.
It's been your frequency has been off.
Right.
Now he's talking to you. You can hear him.
Amen.
Yeah. So just being the example of that.
Right.
That's taking it to that next level of what we do in here. They're watching.
Right.
Let's give them something to watch. They need some instructions. They need some direction. Right. Let's be the example.
Right.
For them. Mm-hmm. Let's take care of ourselves holistically.
Right.
That's dope.
Crazy.
So now when you walk into that next place, you so contagious, bro. Everybody want to be around you.
Right.
That's dope.
It's crazy.
You see what I'm saying? They admire you from a distance.
Right.
They hear your voice before you even get there. My presence is felt.
It's crazy. And
That's crazy. That's who we are.
you saying that is answering the questions of a lot of people know me before I know them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people come in here and they be like, such and such told me that, or been talking about you. You know what I'm saying? And I was hesitant to come in because I felt like you might tell me that I ain't right.
Yeah.
I had a client sit on my chair the other day, said, man, I would have been came to see you.
Yeah.
But I feared the fact that a lot of people say, man, you go around Rice, man, Rice he gonna tell you this, he gonna tell you that. And it's not that I'm telling them.
I'm challenging you.
It's just I'm trying to tell you, bro, it's a roadblock ahead of you.
Yeah. It's good. That's who we are.
Right. And man, it's confirmation. Yeah. A lot of what you're saying is confirmation or something.
Stay the course.
Right.
I was stubborn with y'all.
Right.
Y'all dudes was giving me some resistance in the shop, man. I had some lions in there.
Yeah.
And there was some resistance.
But we always headstrong.
Everybody was headstrong. Yeah. And I'm like, listen, this is what it is. This is what we doing. This is how it needs to be done.
Like even the contract. You remember?
The contract.
Yeah. Like you gave a contract and it's crazy, man, because that set the structure for the shop.
Yeah.
Grown men.
Set the tone.
Grown men you had it set up where grown men knew is my week tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that structure, man, and that's why a lot of us were able to leave your shop and go out and do the things that we're doing because of that. A lot of us didn't have structure.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why barbershops are the way they are.
Yeah. No structure.
No structure. Yep. Like I worked in a barbershop up the road and it was 11 o'clock on a Saturday. You got barbers rolling in.
11 o'clock.
You know what I'm saying?
That's unheard of, brother. Get out of here.
Hey, I got a story.
We got a line of people in here waiting want a haircut.
Hey, I got a story with you one time, man, where me and my wife at the time, it was just us taking the kids back and forth. We didn't really know a lot of people. So sometimes my wife the kids were going to school at Charlotte Prep, my son, over near Ray Road.
Yep.
And so sometimes she would get home and I remember I came in.
Got you.
Yo, I thought I could take that to the head. I warned you. Oh my goodness. You had one of these? Hold up, man.
I warned you.
Ooh, we got him.
Man,
I warned you.
man, that's strong, bro. You did warn me too.
Yeah, I warned you.
I ain't want to hear you.
But yeah, man, I remember I came in, it was after 8, and your rule was, bro, be here at 8 because the customers are waiting on you.
It was, man. There's a line of
Right, and I remember, and a lot of my clients to this day ain't good at it. I'm going to still tell you, man. Yeah. But I tease people. I live off the sundial, which is crazy. Yeah. And I learned that what I'm saying this to say that the first form of oppression started with the clock. Mm-hmm. And when I say it started with the clock, think about people who work jobs, they got to be at work at 2 o'clock. You rushing to get everything that we got to get done to meet that man demands at 2 o'clock. Mm-hmm. But I learned the discipline of being on time and giving a client the concept of a time frame that I can get you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to thank you a lot, man, because you don't realize the magnitude and the effect that the way you set up Ultimate Barber Lounge, that name itself brought structure. Because to be the ultimate and to be the best, bro, it took structure.
Yeah.
And you know, I know a few of the barbers, still talk to a few of the barbers, see them every now and then, and like each one, even like Rail, he was able to start his other business because of that structure.
Yep.
You know, you got to think, man. We came in, we were young men, just wanting to cut hair.
That's right.
But this is your legacy, man. Look at what you built.
Yep.
And I had to get you on to let you know, man. Like, I couldn't do a podcast without having you on, because Klippah Talk is an extension of what I learned at Ultimate Barber Line.
That's love.
Yeah,
That's love.
You know, just being honest, man.
That's love.
And I watch from afar.
Right.
Like I follow you on social media, on Instagram, and so I watch from afar. And I think that was the reason that I was like, I'm gonna go check out the Ultimate Barber Lounge. And I never made it over there, but
Look where we at now.
I still watch it. I still, you know, cause like man, just the little tips you gave was enough to help me build my business.
Wow.
So just being here to sit here with you is big to me. And my son just came, and I was trying to. I didn't know we had started the podcast. I got up and walked out, but
I saw him walk out. I was like, where you going?
So I told him come in. I was like, yo man, this is one of the heavy hitters in the game, right? So he had to leave, but I was going to introduce you to those. But
Because he learning barbering.
yeah, he in barber school now. Nice. Yeah, he in barber school now. So
Love, that's love.
yeah.
And I knew you. What's crazy was when I came to your shop. This is the true story. I came to your shop, and I didn't know you as the gentleman that I know you as now.
Of course,
You know what I'm
most
saying?
people don't.
Yeah. So, but when I got back to South Carolina, I was telling a barber named Wester Gary. I was like, he like, man, what you doing now? You still back and forth? I said, nah. I said, I'm working at Ultimate Barber Lounge with Tone. He was like, man, you ain't working with Tone. And so he popped in a video.
Just snap a few. I don't mean to interrupt you. Just snap a few while you back there.
He popped in a video, and it was you on the video.
Yeah.
These guys were subscribing to your videos. That's how far your brand had stretched.
Where was this at?
This was in Lawrence, the barbers from Lawrence, South Carolina.
Word.
And like I was cutting in Fountain Inn and Malden at the time. And you know, me and him, we talked back and forth because he was one of the first barbers I ever worked with. And these guys, he was like, man, you're not working with this guy. I was like, bro, we joke, we argue, we do everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So I'm saying, man,
That's
like,
so crazy.
you don't know the extension of the work that you put in. How many you fathered a lot of people in this business, man.
That's love.
You know what I'm saying? So I just want to praise God, and like, don't take for granted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The things that you just say is tone. No, don't take tone for granted.
Yeah.
Just know that God has used you to change this industry, man. You got a lot of barbers, man, that they hold your videos dear to this day.
To this day.
To this day.
You know, I knew it was real when somebody came in and like the bootlegger came in the shop. He said, "Oh yeah, we be bootlegging your DVD in Florida." I was like, "What? I need some proceeds from that." Like you got cause the bootlegger normally got music and movies.
Right.
He's like, "Nah, look, we got we bootlegging instructional DVDs."
Right. And it was
I said it was my DVD.
yeah.
So I was like, "Wow, okay, who knew?"
Right.
Who knew, bro?
But think about like Eric Cheeks.
Yeah.
You remember Eric came through and like,
Sir.
I think he came from the coast.
Yeah.
And so like I ran into Eric. He and I went to the barber show down in Atlanta. And Eric was on the platform, and I'm walking by. Eric like Rice, you know, he's cutting hair, and he paused the set.
Yeah.
And then he introduced me like, yeah, this is my brother. Used to work with me at Ultimate Barber Lounge. Da da da. And all of us used to work with Tone. Da da da.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, man, this thing's crazy.
It is.
And so many of them barbers that I met on that platform, the guys from Babylus I didn't remember, but they remembered the association with you.
Wow.
So a lot of, like, he's my witness. Like, guys coming up to me and they like, man, what's been going on? What you doing now?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
And Eric like, hey, man, we need to follow each other.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen Eric since the shop.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
the brotherhood, brother.
Right.
This is a brotherhood, and that's what it's about.
It is, man.
Right. Lifting each other up, holding each other accountable. I would love for us to be there for each other a little more than we
Right.
are.
Right.
Let's check in with each other more.
Yeah.
But it's really a brotherhood.
It is.
You know, one
It
day
is.
we need to have a barbers family reunion, man, where we all just get around and have these conversations,
Right.
just talk, because we all need it, man. It's therapy.
It is.
You know, we're the therapists for so many. We need therapists too.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. we
We need
broken.
therapists too.
A lot
bro.
of times we're broken trying to fix up.
We are, and it's okay because that's what we do. But we are.
We are.
Yeah, we look whole, and I might even feel whole sometimes.
Right.
But I'm not broken. I'm a broken little piece too.
And it's crazy because like I catch myself, you know, like I was telling you, I'm getting more in tune with myself, and I listen. I'm able to hear the true voice that's trying to lead me now.
Yeah.
So like sometimes, man, I'm so weighed. I go home, and I catch myself snapping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like
Sure.
it's not anything that anybody did. It's just, man, I got so much weight on my table. Man, just give me a second.
Let me breathe.
So what I've been finding out is that he's putting more weight on our shoulders, so we'll get comfortable carrying the weight that's on our shoulders.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You follow me? It's like when I'm benching, right? I got 185 on there, and I'm a little hesitant to put 2 more plates on there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's when I put those 2 plates on there, I get comfortable with that weight the more I push it up. So I believe he's putting more weight on you, bro, because he know what you can handle. Like, I won't put more than you can bear.
Right.
But we all are more stronger than we give ourselves credit for.
Right.
We really are. We really are, bro. Like, you say I don't have the discipline. You got it. But your mind keeps saying I don't have it. Because you're looking at the results of what the lack of discipline brings. Right? But deep inside, it's like, I got it. It's here. It's in you.
Oh, yeah.
You just got to activate it.
That's it.
Like, the strength is in you, right?
Right.
You it's waiting to be activated.
Right.
It's like the knowledge, the understanding, the ability, it's all in us. It's all in us, bro. We didn't even scratch the tip of the iceberg on our full potential.
Right.
We haven't. None of us have.
Right.
The lives that we're gonna impact, the lives that we're gonna change, the difference that we bring to people's lives and to the world. You know, cosmetology, what's that? Cosmos.
Right. That is the word.
Come on. You got cosmetology license, bro. You can shape cosmos.
Right.
That's crazy. I can create a whole cosmos. You're a cosmetologist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the root word of that is cosmos.
Right. And that's what we're supposed to do, change that.
That's right.
And I'm gonna say this, like, being a barber is intimate. You're in a space that only a spouse or a parent has been in. You're that close, can't nobody else get close to that person. So if we don't take the responsibility of getting to know these people, and it affects your business. Like, say for example, if we had an incident the other day where a guy, he kind of got upset, got out of control, but the power in me, I'm like, man, this is our shop, right? It's my job to control this. So like, just that love of the person upset and the love of the person that I'm tending to, when you have love, it shuts down everything else. And the crazy thing about it, these 2 gentlemen, this whole scenario, the guy was, before he ran into the guy again, he came by here, and the guy apologized. You know, he apologized to me, and he said, man, I want to apologize. I was like, man, let me talk to him first. So just putting it out there and God being in control, that man came here, but it was closer for him to go to his destination where he would have ran into that guy, but he came here.
He came here.
He came here.
Right.
And so that's, you know, I'm telling my wife, like, man, it's crazy how God, we don't know that God is in so much control, because it was closer for that man to go there than to come to the shop. And when he came in, the first thing I did, I let him know that young man apologized. So when he ran into him, he wasn't upset no more. They had a conversation. He just let the young man know, watch how you talk to people. You know what I'm saying? But that could have got ugly
It
quick.
could have got ugly very quick.
Right. But that's just the proof of love.
Yeah.
Man, like I let that man, you know, talking to this man, I'm like, I gave him, like, this is what you got going on in your life, man. You know, you've been blessed with this and this and this. And man, I want to see you succeed, man. I don't let something like this just derail you.
Derail you.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm seeing the expression of love, man. When we express love to each other, but it changes everything. His anger was kindled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. And for us, respect is love.
Right.
So we looking for that respect, bro.
That's it.
Yes,
Like,
sir.
give me that respect.
That's
You ain't even gotta show me, say the word love. If you express love to me, bro,
Yeah.
that's what love mean to me.
Right.
Respect.
Right.
That's it.
No, a woman might say she want to hear that word love, but we want that respect.
Right.
So them two, you wanted to hear that brother, he wanted to hear you. That's respect.
Right.
Yeah, let me hear what you're saying, man. Let me see how you feel. Talk to
Right.
me. That's respect.
Because he was gone.
Yeah.
He wasn't
Yeah,
back.
be careful. Don't talk to me this way.
Right.
You disrespecting me.
Right.
But that ain't a reflection of love.
It's not at all.
Oh.
And you know, from man to man, when you're disrespected, that's saying I don't love you.
That's what it's saying.
Right.
That's how
Right.
we interpret love.
Right. Because number one,
Yep.
this is where I'm at in life. As long as a man doesn't touch me, doesn't spit on me,
Mhm.
doesn't hurt my family,
Mhm.
doesn't, you know what I'm saying, anything like that, man, you cool. You got a right to say what you want.
Yeah, right. Yep.
You have the right to do what you want to do outside of touching me and my family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So disrespect to me is, you know what I'm saying, those are the things that disrespect to me now. But a lot of people haven't matured to that.
They haven't.
Right.
Right.
And, you know what I'm saying? But as men, that's the point we got to get to.
We got to get to that point.
Yeah, because like my grandmother taught me when I was young, like the N word.
Mhm.
I had a conflict with somebody of a different color because they used the N word. She gave me right on a piece of paper my name, looking at my birth certificate.
Mhm.
And so like then she said, "Hey, stupid, you done yet?"
Mhm.
I'm like, "Why you call me stupid?" She said, "You answered to that. I thought you answered that as well."
Yeah.
So that kind of brings me to this point where like you can say anything about me.
You say anything?
Right. And you know, like if somebody say, "Right, said such and such," tell that person to say that I said it in front of me.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if they can't say that I said it in front of me, then I don't want to hear nothing else they got to say.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because people can say what they want to say.
People gonna, and they gonna say what they
They
want to
gonna,
say.
Yeah, but you can't let them draw you out there.
You can't let them
You
do
got
it.
to stay centered.
Centered.
Right.
Grounded.
Right.
Yeah. Stay on your square.
Right.
Like one of my OGs told me, he's like, youngin, and this is what he said, youngin, I want you to always stay on your square.
Right.
Don't let nobody knock you off your square.
Right.
And I didn't really get it at that time, but it makes so much sense.
It does.
Don't let nobody throw you off balance.
Because when
Don't
they
throw
pull
you
out
off
there,
track.
if they pull you out there,
Yeah.
you become a laughing stock.
That's right. And that's what they want.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's all about trying to get you.
Yeah.
And it's not them. That it's the person who's communing with God, telling them, "I told you and
That's right.
who you think he is." That's what I had to learn.
Yeah. And it's something else, a bigger thing that's in control of all of this.
Right.
It's something behind the scenes controlling people.
Oh yeah.
So we can't let that affect us.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Damn, dope.
Mm. Barbers. Look at us. How old are you?
45.
45. You about to say 35.
Yeah, I'm
Take
about
some
to say,
years
man.
off.
Trying to steal
45.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Right's about 60. How old are you, right?
Yeah.
Man, I just hit 5-0 this year.
50.
Right.
Okay.
I just
45, 50, and 46.
Mhm.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think we ain't even began to grasp where we're going.
Nah, I thought I was getting old until this older guy told me, he's like, I'm 72. You're young. Right. So it's perspective.
Right. It is.
It's perspective. We're not old.
But look at you at 46,
Mhm.
and you think about people generation before us when they were 46.
Mhm.
But that's how I look at where I'm at now. Like, I'm still active.
Yeah.
I'm not on any medication.
Me either.
You know,
God.
I'm just flowing.
Yeah.
You know, and it's crazy. I want to say this before we end. Like, the acceptance. We got to be careful what we agree with. Like, think how many times we go to the doctor and the doctor's like, "Hey, you're almost diabetic." The minute your mind locks on to you diabetic, you notice people become diabetic.
You become diabetic.
People become high blood pressure. People succumb to cancer.
Yeah.
So we got to stop agreeing. I understand now what Yahshua meant when he was talking about the yay and your nay.
Yeah. Let the yay be yay and the nay be nay.
Because if you agree with something, you just accept it.
Yeah.
And now if you agree to cancer, it now can consume your body.
Becomes your reality.
Right. So that's one thing that I want us as barbers, man, just to realize, man, like, we're not who they say we are.
Mhm.
You know, like, a lot of people have made this profession look bad. We're not the whoremongers that you say we are. We're not the bad beat dads that you
No,
say we
not
are.
at all.
You know what I'm saying? We're
Not at all.
not the hustlers in the shop.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I said that we have to be careful with what we agree and what we accept.
Mhm.
I don't respond to foolishness.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you
I'm not in agreement with that.
at all.
Mhm.
So that's what, and I think that us 3 here, man, like even once this hit the airwaves, I think we're gonna change a lot of perspective.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people see us as, like I'm success. To me, there's no such thing as success. Success to me is a constant goal. It's an abstract thing that we can't grasp. Other people might give us that accolade, but once I say that I succeeded, I stop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say that each one of us, I think we're at a point now where our goal is to be successful, and I want us to take this with us. Like, don't allow success to settle in us.
Yeah.
Keep
I
striving.
think once you get to that mind state of I'm successful, you put a limit on yourself.
Right.
Because like that's the stopping point. That's the ceiling.
Right.
Once I made it.
Yeah.
You hit the ceiling,
Yep.
and you'll never go further because you made it.
I've done that.
So to keep that grind going, you know what I'm saying? I'm working towards success. I'm working towards success. So you can keep going. You can keep pushing yourself.
Right. Reinvent yourself. I like that. Yeah.
I'm in a constant pursuit of something.
Right.
That's success for me. I'm in a constant pursuit of something, and that something is always changing.
Mm-hmm.
You follow me? It's like I never, because I got an idea of this, and then I head in that direction, and I get more understanding. And then I'm in a constant pursuit of something else.
Right.
So it's constantly changing for me. And one time I wanted to shop when I was in the basement, and I got the shop.
Right.
When I got in that shop, I said, "Damn, I'm here. I'm in what I wanted."
Right.
And then I got scared because I was like, "Where I go from here?" I didn't know where I was going from here.
Right.
And then I had to sit back and give it some thought and do some digging, and then I started seeing life differently. But yeah, like you said, don't let it be an end destination to where you say that's success.
Right.
Because success is a process. It's a journey, and it's the journey that is successful. It's not the destination.
Yeah.
Right. So we are all going somewhere, bro. And we all could go, and we all can help each other get to where we need to get to.
Right.
But we are going somewhere.
Yeah. Trust the process.
Yeah.
We have to believe and trust the process.
And the bumps and the bruises during the process don't define it.
I kind of like fights too, man, because it's the fight of the uncomfortableness. Like the clan, when I first started being educated, my armpits was soaking wet, dog. And I was like, dang, I got my arms up trying to cut here. And everybody looking at my soaking armpits with my deodorant stains on it, and I'm sweating all over my face. And I'm up here cutting. I know I can cut, but I got to stand up here with this Bobby Brown mic on, and I got to talk to these people, and I got to cut. And I got to make it look like I know what I'm talking about. But it was in that most uncomfortable space that I started really seeing more of who I was. So I want to challenge everybody to be uncomfortable.
Right.
Stay uncomfortable.
Right.
Seek out uncomfortableness. And go into those spaces.
That's what
because when you go over there, you explore a larger perspective of who you are.
And you learn.
And then you grow. Growth is in the uncomfortableness, bro.
Right. Yeah.
If you wanna grow, become uncomfortable. If you're not I'm not a public speaker. That's what you need to do.
Right.
Because that's where your growth is.
Right. Because see, I remember you.
Yeah, that's where your growth is.
Not saying I'm an introvert.
And
I'm not gonna say that you were. Well, I'm gonna say
whatever
you
was.
You was an introvert.
I'm still am.
Right.
I love introvertness. I go to the movies by myself.
Right.
I go to dinner by myself. I'm cool with me.
Right. And but to see, that's why I say to see your growth. This man that I know now, he wasn't open like this.
Nah.
He didn't share himself like this.
No. I wasn't.
You had it,
I was
but,
not. You right.
But the crazy thing is, the guys at the shop used to be like, "Man, what your deal is, man? Tone talk to you more." We opened up to each other. You brought me out of my introvertedness, and to a certain extent, I think our relationship, man, we piggybacked off each other a little.
Right.
We took a little piece of each other when we left.
I can see that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, man, I missed when that incident happened, and I had to it was because of you too, man, that I was able to go forward and get my barber license because they gave me such a hard time to transfer to North Carolina.
Word.
And so that when I started the process at your shop, I picked it back up. And when I picked it back up, I used reciprocity and I pointed out some things, you know what I'm saying, legally that I knew wasn't right that the board was doing. And so he's my witness. What they did for me to allow me to get my North Carolina barber license.
Come on.
But it started when you was like, hey, Rice, man, that South Carolina license, you're going to have to get this. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's so many things I want to just thank for that discipline, man, because I was just a barber, man. Just a barber.
Yeah. And I remember having a meeting and I was just kind of like saying the possibilities for barbers because I've been exposed to different facets of the barber industry and the different lanes that we all have access to. And I remember sharing some of that in the meeting we had in the shop with the barbers. And this barber, man, it really affected me, bro. When he looked at me, he said, Tone, we just barbers, bro. And I was like, what you mean you just a barber? He could not receive the possibility for him to evolve and grow and expand his brand from standing behind the chair.
Right.
He said, we just cut hair. We just barbers. And I want everybody to know you don't just cut hair, bro. No. Like, I want to be an example to let you know you don't just cut hair.
No.
We do. We all started cutting hair.
Right.
But that's not just it. Right. You have to know it's more for you. Right. And you can look at other people's lifestyles and some of the things they accomplish and see the possibilities for you.
Right.
Because we all have access to that. Right. But I remember that meeting and that brother really bothered me when he said that. But you know, you can't want more for somebody than they want for themselves.
That's it. Like they say, you lead a horse to water.
That was
can't make them.
Well, you can't, and I don't know where he at now, bro. But it don't even matter. I love him.
Right.
But you cannot want more for a person than they want for themselves. And I generally want more for every barber that I come across than they possibly may know they have access to.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you a barber, man, and it's funny. We Twan. Remember Twan?
Yeah.
Man, I see that brother now, man. Like the effect that you had on that man. That man has grown up a lot.
Yeah, because he was right next to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, his chair was right next to me, and that's a hard chair to work at.
Yeah, but
that's love.
Yeah. Last time I saw him, he was working at No Grease.
Well, come on.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Suit and tie.
Suit and tie. Come on now.
Twan,
suit and tie.
That's
man.
The first thing he said when I saw him, because I ran across him in Norfolk, and he was like, "Man, you seen Tone?" I get in touch with him every now and then. I said, "But you know, Tone busy, man. I don't bother." He was like, "Man," he said, "If you see him, man, tell him I asked about it."
That's
you know
love.
What I mean?
That's love.
And I'm like, I'm looking at Twan because who argued more, me and Twan?
Right.
And then on top. In the relationship.
Man, y'all doing it had it went to blows before in the shop.
Right.
I'm like, yo, y'all chill out. Like, Twan, chill. Rice, come on, bro. You older, man. You supposed to know better.
But the relationship, man, like that brotherhood is crazy, bro. And I mean, like, when he said that, I was like, man, Tone don't know how easy. And your style, your discipline, all that, man, it became an encouragement. It became the, I'm gonna say, the blueprint.
That's love.
That a lot of us, even if they don't tell you, bro.
Right. That's all.
It's the blueprint.
Yeah, this is it right here.
Right. It's the blueprint. Yeah. And I just want you to let you know, man, it was the blueprint.
That's love.
Yeah. And y'all used to tease me about my diet back then too, but that was the beginning of my discipline. Once I learned and I tell anybody, man, like, once you conquer what you put in your body,
that's it.
Then you can take that discipline into every aspect.
That's true.
Yeah. If you can control it, because this is a God.
Yeah, it is.
If we can control this God, then that God can control this mind.
Right. And most people are slaves to their stomach.
They are.
Their appetite. I got a taste for this.
Right.
I want some of this.
Right.
And it's literally got you in bondage. You're going to do exactly what it wants.
Right.
When it wants.
Right.
How it wants. You're going for it.
Right.
That stomach.
And that appetite for that stomach leads to an appetite for other things.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? People get an appetite for that drug. That's right. An appetite for this, the appetite. Yeah, it all starts
It all
with
starts.
purpose. Yeah. And it's crazy, man. Like there's so much I want to say, but I don't want to just take up everybody.
Yeah.
Man. But
Yeah.
like being a barber, and I tell young men all the time, man, like being a barber is more than cutting hair and getting money.
Oh, no.
That's the easy part.
That's 10% of barber.
That's the easy part.
10%. Right.
That's the easy part.
I remember my barber, he had the doughboy knot with the rubber band on. That's all I ever wanted.
Right. Me too.
Ooh, that my barber, like, I pull out my $5 and pay my, he would pull out, he said, you need change? And then he would flip through that. He had to do this first. First he took the rubber band off, put it on his wrist, then flip through. I said, oh, Mom, you see his money?
Yeah. Right. I think
Mom, you see his money?
that was the basis.
Oh my God, said he sell drugs. He just cut hair.
Right.
Cut hair.
And that was
attractive. I said, oh my God, get me a knot.
right. And a legal knot.
A legal knot. And everybody love him.
Right.
A neighborhood celebrity. All the girls want him. I'm like, man, that's for me. That's me.
Yeah.
I want this lifestyle.
Hey, but I'm gonna ask you this: how does it feel, man? Like, this is why I never want to live in the community where I cut hair, because when you go out, bro, a 5-minute store visit turn into an hour, because there's so many people, man, that we don't realize that we're admired in the community.
Yeah.
And people are watching you when you think they're not watching. That affects business.
It does.
That's something you used to talk about too, man.
Yeah.
Like, say if you out in the community and you talk this way, but you live in this way.
Yeah.
It will affect your
It
business.
will affect your business.
Yeah.
And it's, I think I've been faced with some of those challenges, being places where you didn't want to be seen, but you were seen.
Right.
And be like, yo, I can't go everywhere and not get noticed.
Right.
And that becomes a challenge sometimes. But your talk got to line up with your walk.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And Barbara does
What
that.
you do in private, but got to be who you are in public.
Right.
Now, I don't want my kids to say my dad ain't like that at home. I don't want my kids to say that.
Right.
That's who I like. My life, I live it for an audience of one,
Right.
and that's the creator.
Right.
But I want my kids to look at me and say, man, what my dad did, that's who he is.
Right.
What y'all hear how he talk, that's how he is with us.
Right.
That's how he is in the house. Like, I had a barber say, he wanted to be famous. You don't want no fame, bro.
No.
Like, what you aiming for, fame? I want to be, no, you don't, bro. You want to give the best haircut ever.
Right.
Give this person the best haircut. Give them the best experience. And then what comes from that comes from that.
Right.
But don't seek fame.
Yeah.
That's the wrong objective. I had to give it to him that way, bro, because he said, I'm famous. I said, bro, I'm not seeking no fame and celebrity. What is that? Like, bro, it comes from, I just wanted to be the sharpest coming out of Philly. I just wanted to get the sharpest shape up and use the best razor.
Right.
And then it just keeps going. But don't go after fame, brothers. Barbers, don't go after that. It's overrated, and just because you're famous don't mean you got wealth, you got happiness,
You got trouble.
you got trouble.
You got trouble.
Yeah.
Never trust fame and money.
Man, listen.
Don't chase that,
Look at Michael Jackson.
because it'll come to you.
Yeah.
And like if you keep your course,
Yeah.
everything you want to come to you. Like
Yes.
I tell my kids, man, everything that you want is right outside your comfort zone.
Right, everything you want. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, we have to think when it comes to that fame, man. Look at Michael Jackson. He had to dress up as a homeless man to go in the store to buy candy.
Yeah.
Fame took his life away.
Took
He
his
couldn't
life.
go out. He couldn't be normal.
He wanted to be normal.
Right. He just wanted to sit around people and have conversations like we're having now.
Yep.
And fame takes that from you.
Yep.
Fame, you want to go out with your wife somewhere and y'all just have a good dinner.
Yep.
Fame takes that away because that's this person coming up to you, talking to you, this person coming up talking to you, but it's supposed to be y'all time.
Yeah, you want to be with your family. You can't be with your family.
I understand why Michael Jordan sometimes be rude with people.
Yeah, and I
And
want to
with my family and with my wife. Man, let us be normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I truly get it, man. Like, fame is not what I do.
Mm.
I'd rather have the changing of lives than the fame.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah, because that's what we're here to do, save souls.
Yeah. Save souls. I
Right.
agree. Yeah. And you said something to customer service, like your client should be the celebrity. Make them feel like they're a celebrity.
That's it.
Yeah. I don't get crazy different when someone that can pay me $500 for a haircut come in. I'm treating this person that paying me $50 like he the one who paying the $500 for a haircut.
Right.
Insane.
That's it.
Get out of here, bro. We both put our pants on the same way. Get out of here.
Hey, I'm the same way. Like Tyler come in. Oh man. Hey, this is like, hey man, what's up? Doing all right? I get to you in a minute.
Right.
Like, yeah, you got more money than this man sitting right here, but that don't make you more important than him.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
It
You know
don't
what
make
I'm
you more
saying?
important.
So, not to knock nobody and what they got going on,
right.
but we all like I was talking to Rice one day, and I took what he said and I told my kids, like, yo, just imagine everybody walking around naked. Now he ain't got the jury,
Yeah.
he ain't got the car, he ain't got the.
Who
you
are
look
you?
at everybody at their core.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Who are you?
that's what you go by.
Right. Yeah. Who are you? If I take away all the accolades,
Yeah.
if I take away all the money, who are you, bro?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What are you?
You know,
And I treat it, the homeless man just as
Wow.
important as the wealthy man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how we raise our kids. Like that, I look at everything as an example. That man that's homeless, he didn't just wake up homeless.
Mm-mm.
So that could be me. So I'm not gonna mistreat him.
Mm-mm.
choices.
Right.
There's choices.
Right. And I'm not going. The man at the top, I'm not gonna praise him. I'm not gonna worship him, because I'm gonna bring about his downfall.
Yeah.
That's what haters do. Haters worship you so we can bring down your downfall.
That's right.
Hey, you
Not
remember?
give a man his accolades.
Yeah.
You know, give him his flowers, give him his due.
Yeah.
Give him his
Oh,
honor.
yeah.
That's
But
right.
we can't worship.
No.
You know.
I remember we was at the ACC tournament, and Kobe White
Yeah.
walked up behind me talking. I turned around, I was like, all I see is chest. I looked up, said, man, what's up, hairball? Like, he got all this hair on his head. Like, what's up, hairball?
Right.
Like, oh, I'm a jokester,
All right.
and I say anything.
Right,
you know
right.
what I'm saying? But just cause you on your way to the NBA,
Uh-huh.
I don't mean I ain't gonna talk junk when I see you.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Still gonna
Yeah.
talk to you like
That's what's crazy.
anybody.
That's why the boys like coming in here, man, because they keep. Wendell tell me all the time, man, you keep me grounded.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I don't peel off the NBA player, peel off whatever status you have in the community or whatever you're doing. We live.
Mm-hmm.
And my job is, I talk to them kids. I'm like, you don't owe anybody anything. You made it to this point. A lot of us, we fall because we feel like, man, such and such did such and such for me. Okay, you appreciate and you honor and you help, but you don't, once you make it to that point, you don't owe anybody but yourself. And of course, your parents. You're going to make sure your parents straight. And I try to tell them, like, be smart with your money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't go out and just buy this car, buy this house.
Yeah.
If you, instead of renting an apartment, get you a townhouse. So if you get traded or whatever,
Yeah.
you sell that, you get the equity,
Yeah.
and you made some money off it. Make your money make you money. Don't just buy a bunch of things and go everywhere with your money.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Think about tomorrow. Think about why should I have to get 2 or 3 contracts and become a slave to the league?
That's right.
Why not take this first money? And now they can't use me as a slave to the league because now I got my own money to start my own business.
Yeah.
That's all we want to start up, man.
That's all.
Right. So don't get caught up into, I'm gonna get this bag, I'm gonna get that bag. Know how much you need to start your business. These are the conversations I have with these young men. Like, think outside. If you break your leg or something happen, that's your career.
That's your career.
So what will you do if your body can't function anymore and you can no longer be an athlete?
That's right.
How you gonna feed yourself?
How you gonna feed yourself?
Right.
Yep.
So these are the conversations that I don't care if they're 9, 10 years old, and if their aspirations, I try to tell them have a backup plan or just think being an athlete. But if you are an athlete, what you gonna do with your money? It starts early,
It does.
right?
Yep. That's
And,
good.
like even to this day, man, I ponder on ways, man, how to market everything that I do. You know what I'm saying? And like, we are a walking business. The gifts that we have, there's no reason why. And this comes back to what you told me, man. I never forget that. You told me there's no reason why I shouldn't be making this amount. And that's the driving force when I want a house. There's no reason why I can't afford it.
Exactly.
There's no reason why I can't afford this car.
No reason why.
Right. There's no reason why. We are the only reason why we don't get what we want, and we don't live the life
Period.
that God has for us.
Period.
Right. You said the word can't,
stand in front of
it
us.
ain't.
ain't.
Yeah.
We block ourselves.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And we don't realize he gave us dominion from here to heaven.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Yep.
And the earth is it says in the fullness thereof.
That's right.
So why should I lack?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I just think, man, I thank and praise God, man, that there's not many of us out there,
Mm-hmm.
but the ones that are out there, we respect each other enough to come together.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, man, like I'm open for any event that you plan or whatever, man. If you need me, I'm there.
That's it.
Right.
Say no more.
The gift that keeps giving, you gave me, so I owe you.
That's
So,
it.
I'm not gonna say I owe you, but
Yeah.
bro, I'm indebted to the kindness,
Mm-hmm.
and you didn't have to do what you did. We were complete strangers,
Mm-hmm.
but the Almighty brought us together for
Yes,
a
he
reason.
did. Yep.
Right,
A part of his divine plan.
right.
Yep.
We all we got.
That's it. So true.
We all we got.
Uh-huh. That's crazy. It felt like we've been here it wasn't nothing for long.
Nah,
It felt like this was a short time, but we covered a lot.
we did, man.
Yeah.
And like we didn't even get off into the questions, man.
I don't know. What was the questions? I mean, this was talking.
But I'm saying,
They just kept going different places.
but this is more
Make
like
sure you get everything too, right? Think about whatever questions we need to ask. Let's do it.
but
You know?
we covered everything in
We
basic
did.
conversation. I mean, you know, like we talked about the set. We talked about, you know what I'm saying, the spirituality aspect. We talked about your early beginnings. We
Yeah.
talked about the basement. And the only thing I did talk about was a gentleman, Juan, and you probably don't remember
Juan.
because he was a young man. He was from Philly that I used to cut with in Malden. And can't remember Juan's last name, but he described coming to your basement. He was one of the young men that you cut his hair a few times in the basement.
Juan?
Yeah, his name was Juan. I used to call him James Harden. The brother looked like James Harden. He had, but
Really?
you changed his life. You made him want to be a barber, and you were the teenage tone made him want to be a barber. That's what I'm telling you, man. Like,
Wow.
you have a legacy, and you inspired a lot of people, man. He's a barber. He used the Philly thing, you know what I'm saying, with the touch up with the enhancement.
Yeah.
He that's where he got it from, man. He's watching videos, the enhancement.
That's crazy.
It is. It's crazy.
Juan, I had to be about 16, 17, 18, probably around there.
Because I think he may be 1 or 2 years younger.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was the first thing, because like he was asking me, he was talking about barbers and he put in a video and he was showing like some of the other barbers, he was teaching them enhancement.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, I used to work with him, and he was laughing.
Yeah.
Like, man, you don't know tone, the basement tone. Yeah, you got to talk. And I was like, yeah, I know the
The
basement,
basement tone.
Yeah, the basement tone.
Oh, whoa.
Like, yeah, he was talking about you had a barber chair in
Yep.
your basement.
Mm-hmm. It was hot in that basement, bro. I was right next to the dryer. Yep, right next to the dryer and the washing machine.
Yeah.
Yep. 2 clippers, a master and an outliner. The outliner would get super hot.
Hey, now you gonna look at me like I'm crazy, man. I gravitated from Andy's a little bit.
Oh, it's all love. There's so many clippers out there. Yeah.
Gravitated, and that's one thing that I tell him all the time, man. Like, I never saw you take a blade out of the pack and adjust it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what honed my skills too. That's how observant I work.
Mm-hmm.
You would take a blade out the pack
Mm-hmm.
and just put it on the clipper.
Mm-hmm.
But other barbers, we setting our blades.
Right.
You know,
So I did set my blades, but I would use that blade before I try to do anything with it.
Right.
So sometimes it came right out the box hitting.
just to see
Yeah.
where it's at.
And just see where it's at. And then I like to break it in before I do anything to it.
Right.
So it's like a foam. I think it's like a foam on that blade, and I feel like you got to burn that off.
It is. They put a film over it.
Yeah.
Rusting.
Okay.
Changing environment.
So that's how my mind think. Like I got to burn that off first. I got to break this in, and then I want to see what it can do naturally out the box.
Right.
And then if it don't do what I need to do, then I might do some tweaking to it.
Yeah, because I observed that part, and like to this day, man, I don't set nothing.
Mm-hmm. Right out the box.
I learned how to hold it at certain angles.
That's the key to them angles.
Them certain angles.
Well, them angles is everything.
Yeah, it is. Even with a fade, like
Yeah.
sometimes, man, I ain't gonna say I get bored, but doing the same thing.
Yeah, I get bored.
I switch up.
Yeah.
And so I might do a whole fade just with with opening up and closing.
Yeah.
Just to see.
Yeah, me
You
too.
know what I'm saying?
I'll do that, or I'll do guardless fading. I won't use my guards. I use a comb. I do clip over comb through
Right.
everything, and I'll angle my comb in the direction that the guard will go.
Right.
Right. So I'll do from bald all the way up to about 2.5 or 3 with just with the comb and the clipper.
Yeah. And the crazy thing about it, man, is just like, not saying we're bored, but doing the same thing over and over, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to get bored to where I'm looking at somebody and I already know put this guard.
Yep.
I wanna try different things and get the same result.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy, man.
My thing was, especially when I would take my clippers home and bring them back to the shop, and I was like, man, I had to learn how to clip over a comb just so if I leave my guard at home. So I use different techniques just so you don't get bored.
So you don't get bored. Yeah.
Yeah, but-
and then what if you don't have your guards, like you said?
That's it.
You might have to use a clip over comb.
Yeah, cause look, matter of fact, I took my clippers home yesterday, and I had to cut a dude earlier and left my clippers at home. So,
I hate when that happens.
so now I'm over here. I'm glad I got more than what I had.
Right.
But I made it work. But yeah, I set my trim. I got a little blade sharpener I use too,
Okay.
but I used to hit the both sides of the blade. I don't do the bottom no more.
Okay.
I just tilt it on the top at the teeth, just to thin out the teeth a little bit, because I think you get a sharper line. When
Got you. So you thin out the top blade.
Yeah, the top blade, I just hold the blade, hold it up, and let that grinder just bump that edge
you
just
got
a little bit.
I got the whole grinding machine.
Okay. Nice.
It was grandfather to it. Another bar
Oh, that's dope.
blessed him with it so sharp.
I might bring a blade by here and let you do one a month. Let me see how that thing hit.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but there was one question that I didn't get to ask. Like, how did you form the relationships that put you in a position to become who you are? Like, I know that listening to people in the chair, but like, how did you meet the people in the community that opened up opportunity? Like, I remember when we used to be at the shop, like, people would contact you, like, say, if there was an event going on in town or an entertainer coming to town. Man, how did you develop those relationships where people would just like be?
I would water services.
Okay.
Yep, that's a great way to build friendships, because you want to build friendships.
Right.
And people do business with people they like.
Right.
So first making sure you're a likable person. Once you become a likable person, you start broadening your services outside of the shop. You know, so I would do free haircuts at a gathering, you know, or I would go out there and speak at events, you know, no charge.
Right.
And from there, I would meet people, and I would always stay current with them. So I would send them voicemails. I would send them affirmations. I would send gift cards. I would stay current in their mind,
Right.
so they won't forget about me.
Right.
And then some of those things went to other areas where they say, hey, Tone is for this. You should call Tone for that. He's a good guy. So
Right.
when they start mentioning, you want them to say, oh, he's a good guy. Tone needs to do this. So then, you know, it just kept going from there. Then I started hiring a publicist that I would consult with her and say, how can we get this brand out there even more?
Right.
And then taking her advice and moving on it, putting some money behind it. That's how you build your reputation, you know. And good news travels better, or bad news travels faster than good news. But you want to have good news because good news travels also.
Right.
Yeah, right. So,
And it sets.
yeah,
I would say good news would be the foundation of a good business.
yeah, yep.
You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing we can do more than just follow the character that we currently have, and be the constant critic of yourself. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's what I learned. Like, I critique myself.
critique yourself. Yep,
Right.
Yep.
If like, I tell people all the time, if you want to know how to be wealthy, first study the poor man. So if you want to be a good person, first study. Now I do it in reverse. I study the good person, because when I see the good person, and if I see a quality that a good person doesn't have, then I check myself. Because like, if this quality is not good, then it's the opposite of
That's
great.
right.
So I need to delete it.
I need to delete it.
Yeah. So to being a constant critic of yourself.
And programs, like, there's a lot of programs that's run on us. You got to learn what program is beneficial and what program's not. And you got to learn how to delete programs from out of you.
Right.
You know, because we be functioning off of habits, which is a program.
Right.
You got to delete that habit and rebuild new habits that put you in the future where you want to be, the future place you want to be.
Right.
Right. So learning how to delete habits are important also.
So in essence, you got to become what you're striving for.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what this talk.
Mm-hmm.
To be that, to give that haircut, I got to first become that barber to give the haircut.
Mm-hmm.
And in life, it has helped me it helped me be a better husband.
Mm-hmm.
It helped me to be a better father. Because if I want to be that thing, I have to become it before that thing becomes natural.
Yep.
Like if, say for example, I do a lot of studying and I read all the time. And in my reading, I constantly see the great men, they all walked in that realm before they became.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Real
Like,
talk.
you picture a kid out in the yard, everybody want to hit the last shot. And he's out there practicing.
Yeah.
But he's becoming that man that can take the ball and score when he needs to score.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I love it. I love it.
So that's
I love it.
That's one thing that this platform, this barber, man, it can change lives when you, like we were saying before, if you accept the responsibility of a barber, not only does it change your life, but you become a model for other people to follow. That, you know what I'm saying?
The barber experience, two things that changed me has been profound in my growth. The barber life experience has challenged me to grow, and being married. Those are the two things that helped me grow the most into who I am today. One example about the barber life, how that changed me. There was a time when I walked into the barber shop and one of the barbers said, "Dang, Tone, you don't even realize it, man. You come in here, you change the tone." I'm like, what are you talking about, dog? He's like, your energy changes the tone when you come into the room. And I was offended by that. I was like, bro, for one, what are you talking about? I don't get it.
Right.
But what I realized, because when somebody say something, even though you might not want to hear it, it's still there in your mind.
Right.
And you're thinking about it. So I'm the person that can take the meat and the bones out of everything.
Right.
You know, some things are good, that's the meat. Some things are bad, that's the bones, you throw it away. But there's something there for you. You just gotta analyze it and be able to take it out. So what he literally was saying, to sum it all up, he's like, you're not a morning person. And because you come in here irritated in the morning, you set the tone. And I said, dang, he right. Oh, God, I'm not a morning person. Oh, shoot. I thought the coffee was gonna do it. Wasn't nothing doing it.
Right.
I could fake it. I could get it right sometime. But I wasn't on as much as I needed to be on. So I had to get in the lab, bro, and I had to work on becoming a morning person because my energy level was changing the tone of my business in the morning. And as the leader, you're supposed to set the tone in a good way for others to follow, for the barbers to follow, for the shop environment to flow. So I didn't realize by me making that assessment and by me making the necessary changes, how that was preparing me to become a set barber. Because being a set barber, you got 4 a.m. call times. You got 3 a.m. call times. You got 5 a.m. call times. And if I didn't do that work in the barbershop to become a morning person, imagine me on set.
Right.
When you got millions of dollars on production, and here you are, you over here irritated.
Right.
You over here cranky. You can't do your job, and matter of fact, you affecting all the staff. You think I would have stayed there?
No.
I would have lost that opportunity.
Right.
And it would have been a wrap. So I say that to say, assessing the information that was emitted at that time and realizing that it was something valuable there was important. And by me making those adjustments, it equipped me to move forward into the next chapter that was coming that I didn't know when it was coming.
Right.
But I knew something was happening.
Right.
So that pivot and that shift, I was ready. When I got in there, now I'm the dude that's like, yo, let's go, let's get it. You know, I'm bringing the energy. Like, this dude is on fire. Like, it's 4 in the morning, man, chill out, calm down. but it's okay. I done primed my energy to where now it's different.
Right.
And that's what we want,
So
those changes.
in that, do you think that I'm gonna say, for example, listen to you talk, if you didn't receive that change, it would have kept that door closed on the opportunity that you have now.
Glass ceiling.
So when change comes and we don't react to it, we're setting boundaries. We're closing doors that we asked to be open.
No, glass ceiling, bro. I can look up, but I can't go up.
Right.
I
Right.
can see it, but bro, you ain't put the work in. You ain't pay your dues. You ain't make those changes. You ain't constantly try to grow and evolve.
Right.
You are not doing what it takes. You're not the person you need to be
Right.
for the next position you meant to hold.
Right. So change.
You're not the person that you are meant to be for the position that you are meant to hold.
Good.
You gotta become that person, bro.
Right.
Before you even get the job, like dress for the job you want, not for the job you have.
Right.
Yeah, that's what the saying is, right? Just for the job you want, not for the job you have.
Right.
So we gotta constantly keep dressing for the job we want. So what am I doing now? I'm dressing for the job I want,
Right.
not for the job I have.
Right.
Yeah. So my gear, I'm changing.
Yeah.
We're like them the caterpillar.
Yeah.
Yeah, we changing. And that caterpillar come out and got wings.
Right.
He went in there, he crawled in there
Right.
to that cocoon, but he came out, bro. He came out with them beautiful colors all on, flying all over the place, taking off.
No boundary.
No boundaries.
Before all he could do was crawl.
Before all he can do is crawl. Now, no, man, you got 100 on your sanitation score? This is a clean shop. That is crazy.
We try.
100.
We try.
You not in here cleaning. Your wife in here. This ain't you. He trying to take credit for it. Yeah, we cleaning here. Bro, stop.
No, I'm gonna tell you.
You ain't do that, man.
I got a story to back up becoming like when we worked at Boston's. This man, me and this man used to get. We opened we opened anytime we wanted, really, but his open hours were 8 a.m. I would get there sometimes 6:30. My wife used to be like, "You got a client this early? You going in this early?" But I was going in, cleaning up and taking care of this man's shop like it was my own.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
we became shop owners.
Mopping.
Yeah, mopping,
Oh,
Yeah.
wiping down. We did everything. But we became shop owners by first taking care of somebody else's shop. Yeah. We treated that shop like it was our own.
Nice. Treat something like it's your own.
Right. So we became shop owners by doing what a shop owner would do.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because like one day he came in and he was mopping. And I was like, "Hey man, I get it." He was like, "Man, let me clean up my own shop." You know what I'm saying? And I took it a certain kind of way.
Right, right.
I was like, "Man, you shoot this N-word, man.
Right.
I'm trying to take care of your
Trying to
shop.
help
Yeah,
you
I'm
out.
trying to help you out."
Right. You don't want
But-
the help.
Yeah, but that whole situation though, and you know, like it's crazy because we still have a strong relationship with Boston, but the way that whole thing transpired, like some of the events that took place pushed us to become shop owners because we were comfortable, man. We were making good money at his shop.
Yeah.
You know, and it's crazy, and that's why the name Klippah Talk. Of course, I had to include Yahweh in it, but like other barbers, we hadn't been working together like 2 or 3 weeks. People were calling, prank calling, acting like we had messed their hair up, we had did this. Other barbers were finding out that we were at that shop and we didn't even know them. You know what I'm saying? So that event is why, you know, other barbers hating on us early. That's why I came up with Klippah Talk. You know, we used to say all the time, man, I ain't arguing with these people, man. We're going to let these Clippers talk.
Clippers talk.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like in the events that took place there, like he had other businesses and like that business was booming. So a lot of the people were being filtered to other places without us knowing. And then they would come in, like we just came up here, we ain't even calling. And it was some other events that took place, conversations that took place. But like him seeing in us and inadvertently not knowing, but it was because of some of those actions that took place, man, pushed us to become shop owners.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm learning in life, man, like sometimes that uncomfortable.
Yeah.
We were comfortable.
Yeah.
But life had a different angle.
It had to
a
happen.
story for us.
It had to happen.
So we had to become uncomfortable.
Yeah. It had to happen.
So-
And that's why you can get better, not bitter. That right there, bro. When things happen and however it happened, it's not how you wanted it to happen,
Right.
but it was necessary.
In the evolution of who we became.
Thank you.
Right.
That's why, like, even some barbers left my shop and didn't leave probably on good terms, but it had to happen.
Right.
The way that it happened.
Right.
I can't get bitter.
Right.
I'm getting better.
And that's the resilience that I talk about. I
That's it.
didn't want to talk about the situation, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's why I say your resilience is remarkable, because a lot of people would have folded under that pressure.
Yeah.
And you know, when I heard about it, I'm like, come on, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I stayed out of it, you know what I'm saying, as far as opinions of this and that. But it took resiliency.
Yeah.
And it took for you to come from that and to who you are now.
Yeah.
That's why I talk about your resiliency.
Yeah. And that's him. That's that man.
Right.
And that's him giving you the fortitude.
Right.
That's him creating the fight that needs to be in there.
Right.
Perseverance.
Right.
And you not losing your character.
Right. Right.
Because some people will go toe to toe and be like, oh, you,
It could have been ugly.
man, listen, bro.
For some people, it could have been ugly.
It could be. It probably should have been for some people.
Right.
But because of the call and because of the mantle that I know that's for me to carry,
Right.
I'm not gonna let that happen.
Right.
Because it's bigger than me.
And you know, like Cat Williams said it best. Like, when a man enters the room, heads have to bow.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, from that, your respect
Yeah.
echoed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your legacy echoed.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was in shock.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? When it hit my ears,
Mhm.
'cause I'm like, we were all so close knit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But your resilience
Yeah, bro.
and me knowing the man that I know now,
Mhm.
they probably still get daps. They still get love
Yeah.
because it made you better.
Yeah. It had to happen.
Right.
Thank you.
Right.
You made me who I am today.
Right.
I needed that.
Because that spot was booming.
Yeah. Boy, listen.
Your market,
History books.
Mondays and Tuesdays, the UNC student got the discount. So they were flooded.
$10 Mondays.
Right. And they were flooded.
Flooded on Mondays.
And
Mondays was so I did the $10 Mondays, and barbers probably won't even do this now. $10 Mondays because we wanted to create another Saturday. Saturday is pretty much the busy money day.
Right.
But I said, how can we make another day? One of our slower days a Saturday. And what we did was $10 Mondays.
Right.
That got people to come in on Monday, and then we tricked them. They still wanted to be fresh for the weekend.
Right.
So we got them coming in twice a week now. You see what I'm saying? And then we turned our Monday into a Saturday.
Yeah.
You standing all day on Monday. Now you working a little more, but you still bringing home $300-400.
But they
And
still
you was on,
tipped.
and they still
pay more.
tipped. So you 10, then you still get a $5 tip.
Right.
So it was a trick.
Yeah.
The marketing strategy was amazing. I
Yeah.
loved it. I loved it.
Man, I met so many of those young men, man, and I see them now, and they like, you're Rice,
Yeah.
Ultimate Barber Line.
Yeah.
And next door, my man,
Velocity.
I see him out. Yeah, from Velocity.
Oh, Daryl.
Yeah, I see
yeah.
Daryl out, and Daryl, he still remember. Hey, what's up, Rice?
Yeah.
I ran into him. I guess he was checking up on his store at the mall. And
Mhm.
then he pulled. I was walking by. He said, Rice.
That's right.
I
Yeah.
said, man, you own this one too?
Yeah.
And you know, and
Daryl done popped them things up all over the world.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
And I'm just talking about the relationships, man. I remember going to I went to the restaurant,
Uh-huh.
the Italian spot, and this was 2 years after I left.
Okay.
And he was like, "You still at the barber shop? Yeah, I hadn't seen you in a while." I was
Yeah.
like, "Nah, I ain't there no more."
Yeah.
And it's just crazy how everybody in that plaza that was still there
Yeah.
still remembers.
They still remember you, yeah.
Yeah.
That's real.
It's crazy, man.
We left an imprint on a lot of people, so that's good.
We did, man. I mean, like,
We just gotta keep going.
Right.
Keep pushing.
yeah,
Keep changing lives, brother.
that's all we can do, man.
Like
Oh.
you said, saving souls.
That's it. They precious to God,
Yeah, brother.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, I could go on and on, just the young men lives I've been able to
Mm-hmm.
effectuate change in, man. And it feels like that gives me life.
Yeah.
Gives me life, man.
Well-
See these young men married with children now, and they were headed in a totally different direction.
No. Well,
Yeah.
here, that's the beauty of it, man. We've been chosen to be in a beautiful industry.
Right.
We're very fortunate now.
Right.
Right.
We got
Not many people can wake up every day and say they doing what they love. And I can feel the love right here. We all are doing what we love.
right.
And so we're very fortunate, man. You know, it's not a day where we feel like we're working.
Right.
You know, our bodies get tired naturally, but on Sunday, I'm not dreading it's almost the weekend's over.
Right.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Let's get back
I'm
to
going
it.
back to doing what I really want to do anyway.
Let's get back to it.
I'm out here spending money with y'all. I'm gonna get back to the shop.
Right. That helps my wife understand.
Yeah.
Because
And
man,
that's why it's so easy.
yeah.
That's why it's so easy. Even when I'm on vacation, I'm like, oh shoot, bro, I need to get back. When I was in that shop, like, man, I'm out here spending money. I like the vacation, but I'm missing work and I'm spending.
You think about the money.
You be thinking, man.
Yeah. But man, it's so crazy sometimes, man. I'm behind that chair and I forget I ain't used the bathroom until I finished my last client that day.
Man, listen, you ain't go to the bathroom one time.
Not once.
Ain't ate,
Haven't drank
no
nothing.
water, nothing.
And we got a water machine and I'm looking at
You
water.
ain't take no lunch break.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Them days
You
happen.
get lost in your passion.
Right.
And that's a good thing.
It is.
But I will say is that I'm getting older. Things are changing. I'm scheduling a lot of stuff I ain't never do before, bro.
Right.
Yeah, I'm definitely going out getting sunlight. I'm
Right.
walking outside.
Massages are
Bro,
important.
listen, I'll stop. I get outside and I walk now just because I need the sun rays, because that's your energy.
It is.
The water, all of that stuff, bro. That I used to just power through like a caveman. Nah, no more of that, bro.
Yeah, you have to.
Stop. I no more of that. It's not good anyway. It's not good.
It's crazy because most of the week I do take out lunch from 1 to 2.
Mm-hmm.
Right side was, man, you going home? I gotta take that time to get out of the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Alright.
I mean, I'm just might get on 85 and ride the Concord Mills.
Yeah.
Turn around and come back. Just a reset.
Yeah.
Just a reset. Van.
Bam.
I watched a lot of Van.
That's love.
You, Bones,
Bones. Yeah.
Pito. Yeah, I watched a lot of barbers, man.
Oh God.
And it made me. I was like, yo, I used to tell Rice, man, I'm get with Andy's. I'm gonna get with Andy's.
Yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying? Like,
That was the
yeah.
goal.
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never really pursue it, but
Mm-hmm.
it was big sitting here with you because it was like you was a mentor from
That's
afar.
love. That's love, bro. I'm glad I could be of assistance
Oh,
in your greatness. That's what I'm proud to be an assistance in your greatness,
Oh,
dog. Real talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, because